By the way, now's a really, really good time to buy Destiny.
Why do you say that?
You'll find out in the news.
Yeah.
Did you read the news at all?
I haven't had time to, no.
You son of a bitch.
This is Twin Stick Radio. Oh, your head was not ready. Okay. This is Twin Stick Radio, episode 40 for the week of October 16th, 2018. I am one of your hosts, Trey Higgins, and I'm joined by Chris Rodriguez.
Hello.
And Justin T. Lopez.
Hello, interwebs.
Why do you have to one-up me all the time, man?
Just say hi.
Because
Just,
you can't
can't
go,
you just say hello?
hello.
That's not how I said it. I said hello.
Which is what I just said.
No, you said hello. I said hello.
So a couple weeks ago on the show, we were talking about this podcast usually starts with like a little couple second introduction, right? And we were talking about how we really wanted stats on that. And I had said, "Oh man, I kind of want to do stats on that."
Oh shit, Trey had some extra time on his
but
hands.
I never did it, and
he didn't
I
have
actually had time to
PlayStation.
do it. And I figured since this is episode 40, we could talk about this a bit. It honestly didn't take that long because
The 4 at 4.
So
D.
the total number of intros that we've had for all of our podcasts is 25.
Cold
14
opens.
episodes. Cold opens, yeah. That's a better way to say it. Cold opens.
Not bad.
14 episodes have not had stingers.
Have not had stingers?
Have not had stingers.
What do you mean by not had not have
They
a
just
cold
go straight
open?
into
straight
the
into
song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I keep saying stinger. Cold open is
Got
what
it.
I meant to say.
Got it.
Cold open is what we call the intro.
Right.
I'll explain. So I've separated. I have two different categories for the intros.
Okay.
I have
He had a lot of time on his hands.
how many times have people
He didn't
been
take his play- he was-
featured in the intro?
He was house sitting. He didn't take his PlayStation, so this is why.
I brought my PC in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. How many times people have been featured? So people that have played a significant role. If you're just giggling in the background, I didn't include you.
Okay.
So
and then
Justin was the least of that number. 'Cause he giggled all the
actually.
time. Oh, wow.
And I also have stingers, and stingers is like the person that said the funniest thing that has that makes sense.
The one that ends it. It's like blah 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 blah.
It's not necessarily the one who ends it. It's just the one who says the funniest thing that
it's the
makes
punchline.
that
Got
that
it.
makes
Okay.
that the cold open.
Okay, got it.
All right, and I just have these listed in order, like the order that we put it on the board. It's not because I think I'm better than everyone.
I would assume my stingers are I'm the least percentage of the stingers.
You're about to find out. So I have been featured in 15 cold opens.
Out of
Nice.
14?
Out of 25.
25. Sorry, got it.
Chris has been featured in 19 cold
Ooh.
opens.
It's because I talk way too much.
Justin has been featured in 18 cold opens.
Hey!
And Everett has been featured in 4 cold opens.
Nice.
Look at you!
3
I
of
know the
those you were
butts
actually
one.
on mic. The other one you were yelling at me because I wasn't doing something right. Okay.
I know that one.
So these are stingers. So the person that said the thing that got it to be the cold open. I've had 12
Out of your
out of my 15.
15, okay.
Chris has had 10.
Out of your
Not
19.
a good percentage.
Justin has had 5.
Sucker.
Everett has had 1. So just if you want to put that into perspective, my stinger rate based off of the amount of cold opens I've been in is 83%.
Okay.
Chris's is 52%. Justin is 26%, and Everett is 25%. So 83% of the time when I'm in the cold open, I say something funny, and your numbers apply to you.
This seems skewed towards the person.
I mean,
who
you're
took
more than welcome to go do it yourself.
I would agree with you if he edited the podcast, but he doesn't.
No. I meant the opinionated. What's the funny part of the stinger?
I don't know that that's an opinion.
Yeah, that's not an opinion. That's like
To me, it's very obvious. Like
Go on.
as far as group stats go, the 3 of us have been in a cold open together 10 times. Trey and Chris have only been in a cold open together once, just us.
Oh wow.
But
But I bet it was the best.
God
damn it, Trey.
It was.
You say yes. Whenever yes.
I've done a lot of this. Trey and Justin have only been in a cold open together 3 times. Chris and Justin have been just together 4 times. Chris and Everett have never been in a cold open just with the 2 of them together.
So some of these this I don't listen to our own podcast. So are a lot of these cold opens just a single solitary person a lot?
No.
Oh,
I have
okay.
stats for that too.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ.
Justin and Everett have been featured in a cold open together once. Trey and Everett have been featured in a cold open once. Trey, Chris, and Everett have been featured in a cold open once.
Oh, I understand.
Justin, Chris, and Everett have been featured in a cold open together once. The four of us have never been in the same cold open, and Chris is the only person who has been in a solo cold open, and he's been in it 3 times.
Oh my
So
god!
3 times it's just been Chris.
What the hell am I saying?
And
Everett,
then,
we've never been in a cold open before. Touch my penis so we can do this.
All right, and then just some fun facts about our cold opens. The number of intros that include singing are 3.
Really?
Yeah, one time you guys sang a song together, "Dying in Your Arms Tonight."
Oh yeah.
I sang
Sounded pretty good.
I sang
Did
a
we?
song by myself once, and then you like sang the theme song once.
Oh yeah.
The number of intros with fart noises, 2.
That was for me.
There was a theme.
I guarantee you.
There
it
was
for
a
me.
there was a theme going on that week
probably.
or 2.
The number of times that Chris has annoyed Trey in the cold open, twice. The number of times Trey has annoyed Chris, once.
Number of times this happened on a podcast, 100.
Yeah. What number are we on?
Oh, yeah. Episode 3 and 21 are the shortest intros at 1 second long each. Episode 37 is the longest at 48 seconds.
48-second cold open. That's not a cold open. That's
Where
a
we were
freaking.
talking about IHOP, and you were mad at me because
That
I
one is
didn't
long.
see that it was expensive.
I actually showed Whitney that one. She laughed pretty hard.
That it's no
I-
longer a cold open.
yeah,
At that
you-
point, it's an SNL like opening
Yeah, maybe.
monologue.
It's like,
Like,
you need-
thanks for coming out, guys. We're gonna have a great show tonight.
No, I think if it's
the
under.
Cedars are here.
I
Everybody,
think
the
it's.
Cedars.
I think it's if it's under a minute, it's a cold open.
Okay.
the best cold open in my opinion. This is the subjective part of this. The best cold open in my opinion is episode 27, which is Slippery Strokes.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
that was a good one.
That is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one. We're all 3 in it,
Yep.
and it was your punchline. However,
We both got the
you
stinger on
caught
that
it off, caught us hard off guard because we
Yeah.
both said slippery strokes at the same time.
It was good. You guys capitalized.
Yeah.
one. Yep. It's all these years of doing
Capitalism.
podcasts together. So yeah, if you guys are curious about that, now you have facts.
Well, there you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for those.
I was like, today's episode 40. I should do something special. And I sat down and I was like, I'm going to start this. And if it takes too long, I'm not going to do it. And it seriously, like I said, they're all like mostly 20 seconds.
Sure,
long.
yeah.
It was very easy to
They're all right there in the beginning.
Good shit.
All right. So if you guys haven't listened to us before, we are a podcast about video games. We record weekly. We're still figuring out when we're definitely going to be up, but that should be figured out soon. And we start the show with the same segment every single week. Chris, what are you playing?
I'm at a T.
I literally was going to go to the gas station and get us all drinks, and then Everett showed up, and I was like, well, dang.
You were
going
gonna get us all drinks.
Yeah, because I needed a drink, and I was like, well, everyone else probably needs a drink too, so I was just
Plus,
gonna go-
like a
Who
big,
is
a big
this
drink,
guy?
A big drink's only like $1.50
It's
anymore.
really cheap.
Yeah.
If it was
but
expensive, I
still.
wouldn't do it.
I'm flattered. I'm tearing up over here.
I am currently playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Destiny 2, and did I log into WoW? I did log into WoW for a little bit with Whitney the other night because she's getting pretty high in level. She's like 73, 74 on her main, so she's getting up there. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is fucking. Man, I don't know. I'm in that road. I'm in that crossroads. It's like I'm not sure how I feel about this game.
Are you ever not in that way with a game?
Yeah, I think when Red Dead comes out, I'll be
It
like,
was never like that with WoW.
yeah.
That's fair. WoW was a head over heels moment.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like Assassin's Creed, it's I think for years we've always been like, man, I want more of this game, right? I want more of this. I want more of that. The bigger the world, the better. Holy crap, it's taking me an hour to walk from one side of the map to the other. Blah blah blah. This is amazing. It's like I think we finally reached. It's like you took it way too far. Like now it's too big. There's too much to do. There's just I see another question mark on a map. I'm gonna throw my controller and like fucking break something. It's fucking insane because you know the redeeming factor in all of this is I got tired and I checked the platinum list. Because I don't really like checking the platinum list for games like Assassin's Creed because there's spoilers usually.
Yeah.
And Assassin's Creed, I really like the stories, so I didn't want to do it. But I finally broke down and checked the platinum list, and thank fucking God you don't have to do everything on the map to get the platinum. You do have to find and clear. Like if you look at the map, it's all like kind of painted. It almost looks like a painted chapel, like very Greek, and just looks painted. But when you actually go to those regions, it details out. So you do have to find and detail out the entire map to get the platinum, but that doesn't mean you have to go do every single question mark.
I think we talked about this. I think I talked about this last week. Fallout 3. I'm going to name just Bethesda games. Fallout 3,
Sure.
Fallout 4, Skyrim. Those are all games that like 80 hours is a fraction of what you put into those.
Sure,
games.
of course.
But the difference to me and the reason why it's not working for Odyssey and the thing that's kind of keeping me away from it is that the amount of content that you have to do just isn't meaningful. And in Skyrim or Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, you can get that many hours out of the game because there's that many quests that are worth doing and unique storylines and interesting characters and cool new places to check out. But like I sat and watched you for 2-3 hours the other day and I'm like,
sure,
bandit camp.
But that's because I was playing Assassin's Creed like I play Assassin's Creed. Once I checked that platinum, I learned I don't have to play the game that way because I don't have to do everything to get the platinum.
But playing the way you've been playing, it's helped you level up correctly.
Yeah,
right?
I still have yet to. Well, I'm sorry, I take that back. I am doing the. How can I say it without spoiling it? I'm doing the Isu part of the story right now, which is the advanced ancient civilization. I'm doing that part of the story right now, and the last thing I need to do is level 50, but I'm level 46. So I have run into a thing like a kind of stopgap, but I just
like a comeback later sort of thing.
Exactly, it's a comeback later thing, but that's not the main. There's like 3 or 4 main story points that you have to go do. I can just go start my family quest now. Not start, but just do my family quest. And it's, I still have yet to run into this whole like, oh, I needed to grind 7 levels.
Well, I mean,
you
naturally grinded.
I naturally grinded 7 levels, exactly. I haven't run into any like, man, I think I should buy this. This XP boost sounds really good right now. You know what I mean? I haven't run into that.
And I get that it's a choice.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You don't necessarily have to do that. I just think, though, that like, it doesn't work because it's based off of a serious form of repetition.
Sure, yeah. And
whereas those other games that I mentioned like kind of trick you.
Sure. And the thing is too is like, I'm on both sides of the fence where I see the argument of, dude, I've been playing RPGs for years and there's always a shit, I need to come back to this place later after I've leveled some. I'm always on that side of the fence because that's the way RPGs have been. Destiny's like that. Every fucking MMO is like that. They're all like that. But I'm also on the other side of the fence where like Assassin's Creed has never been a game where I needed to do that. I could just go jump in, enjoy the 20-hour story and really fucking dig into this thing because that's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be anything more than that.
Well, it's a lot of people when they talk about Pokemon, they talk about people argue that the 2 worst Pokemon games are the original Gold and Silver. A lot of people love that game, but a lot of people say just from a mechanic standpoint, it's not great. And they also say that X and Y are the worst games. And they say that they're the worst games for opposite reasons. For X and Y, it's way too fucking easy. You level up, you out-level everything. Yeah. It's too dumb. In Gold and Silver,
it's fucking hard.
Yeah, the zones don't really level up with you, and so the grind to level up is ridiculous, and it takes too long.
That's why that was my favorite. Gold was my favorite Pokemon game.
And I think that's the way. That you look at that people should look at Odyssey. It's
sure.
Like, yes, RPGs are games that are meant to be played a really long time and grinded out, but that doesn't change the fact that like not all grinding is the same.
Yeah.
It's not all equal.
And grinding, grinding can be a negative term, and I think in the Assassin's Creed Odyssey conversation, it is being used as a negative term. But I also think a lot of people aren't grinding correctly. They go and they pick up there's a bunch of different quests. There's the main quest. There's side quests, which are dictated by like a yellow diamond with a yellow exclamation point in it, and then just non-existent, just go fetch this thing for some extra money is a white diamond. And I think a lot of people are like, well, I got to go grind all these side quests. It's like, you're not grinding side quests, you're grinding fucking, I need a bit of extra drachmas or money, so I need to go do this real quick. You're doing the wrong thing. You're doing Assassin's Creed wrong, because an actual side quest, 4 of them will level you up. That's not bad. 4 side quests to level up. Fuck yeah, I'm totally in. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not bad at all. But it probably takes like 10, 12, maybe 15 of those white diamond ones to level up. And that's where people are like, I can't believe they're making me go do that. It's like, they're not. You're not doing the side quest. You're doing random,
Go fetch quests.
repeatable quests. What are they called? Not repeatable,
Encounters?
not exotic.
Survey says.
Yeah, never mind. Anyway, it's like repeating quests that always come up. It's always they come up over and over and over and over again. So once you finish it, the next day it'll reset and you can go do it again.
Right.
I forgot what they're called.
Well, and I
Repeatable quests, daily quests. Sorry, daily quests.
Yeah. And I hope Ubisoft learns from this too, though.
I do
'cause
too.
I think that there's a valid criticism of like
I completely
you talk
agree.
about this all the time with Destiny, like artificial depth. This game looks deeper than it is because really you're just doing the same thing over and over again to get one thing.
Yep. And unfortunately, that is overshadowing the fact that this game, just in general, is fucking amazing.
Is it?
Like easily a 9 in my book because it's great.
We'll
Yeah,
see it in the news, but I don't think this is affecting the general public.
Oh, maybe not, but
I
I
don't
think
think
it's.
this is affecting sales at all.
I think it's definitely not. It's affecting
public perception.
public perception of it for sure. But yeah,
I've seen your tweets. They've been very cryptic as far as like it'll just be like a head.
I don't wanna give
a
anything
head
away.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's like a head exploding emoji with and then like hashtag
At
Assassin's
some
Creed
point
Odyssey. I'm
after
like,
you finish it, like we'll sit down and do a proper spoiler cast.
yeah. I like the when I got to the Isu thing. Like if anybody's listening to this and you saw my tweet, it's very spoilery, but it's not because I didn't want to give anything away. But if you everything lies in the GIF.
The what?
The GIF.
The Gith Yankee or
No,
Gith
no,
Sarai?
the GIF. GIF. The,
God,
the
what a
GIF,
nerd!
the GIF that I tweeted basically spoils what the
Yeah.
You're a
the
nerd.
No, I heard Gith and I was like,
And I'm-
set me up for a good joke.
And I'm disappointed.
Good old
and
D&D
I'm
joke.
disappointed that I understand this now.
and Destiny, and I only played Destiny this week was today because Festival of the Lost started, which we'll talk about. What are you playing, Justin?
Haven't had a whole lot of time this week. I picked up Spider-Man again. I was like, okay, time to start working towards the platinum. Played a couple missions and got bored with that.
Well, Justin's not getting
I'm telling
platinum.
you, that,
No, I am. I just wasn't in the right mindset.
that platinum is real dumb. I'm telling like we looked at the number earlier and 11% of the people
That's a
that
lot of
have
people.
bought Spider-Man have gotten the platinum, but it's not a good platinum because you have these random crimes, right? And you have like 4 or 5 different types per district, and you have to do 5 of each type of crime in each district for all the districts to get the platinum. But the thing is that they randomly pop up.
Fucking RNG, man.
So you basically just have to swing around the city. I found a way to trick the game, which I'm not going to share with anyone because I want everyone to like do it the way that I had to do it for forever.
No.
But I found a way to trick the game to make it pop up, but it still
man.
was annoying.
Yeah, it is. That any platinum based in an RNG element is fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I think you did tell me how to do it. I'm not going to spoil it.
Maybe,
But I think you told me
I'm
how
not
to.
going to tell anyone else because I think that like because it took me a really long time to figure it out, and it's fucking annoying.
Don't get
So
me-
anyone who doesn't want to get that platinum, I don't blame you.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like the game is really fun, but like doing crimes, the crimes themselves aren't fun enough to just farm those.
it's
Like,
it's not in here. I don't think. But they announced the next DLC for Spider-Man.
or it's the first DLC.
The first DLC. Yeah, it's
the heist.
Black Cat heist.
Yeah, they announced it right after right
super
before
cool.
the game came out.
Yeah,
and the
she looks
internet got
super
mad.
cool. She looks
Well,
really cool.
It's
Also,
3 chapters in one heist. It's more like a
Kane's
season
Scarlet
pass,
Spider suit is in this DLC.
Cool.
Yeah,
Kane's
it's
Scarlet Spider suit
super
is
fucking
awesome.
cool looking. And then the UK Scarlet Spider.
yeah.
So
The UK one kind of looks cool.
No, the UK one. Oh yeah, anyway, he knows who the UK one is.
yeah.
They
The
should put the Cosmic Spider.
Captain
in there.
Captain Britain.
Captain
one.
Britain. Yeah, they should put Cosmic Spider in there. That'd be kind
They,
of cool.
the Cosmic
Which one is
Spider
that?
one's so cool.
It's white, and then there's like some weird kind of like. It's like 5 circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's lines that go to the circle. But the rest, the shoulders up looks like a galaxy.
There's
Like, it kind of looks all galaxy-like.
I forgot what it's called, but basically in the Marvel universe, the universe chooses like a champion.
Yeah.
At one point, Peter Parker got it, and so he becomes like the cosmic spider, and then it moved on to someone else.
That sounds pretty badass.
It's a cool. It's a cool.
But-
They should put that one in
in,
there. There's so many weird costumes in that game. Like, why not throw that one in?
The Kane Scarlet. I saw the picture of the Kane Scarlet Spider one, and it's not just like sleek red. They added like textures to it to make
there's
it
a little.
to make it look
the
like
Kane one is just so fucking cool because
it's
it's
super fucking cool.
It's the straight red,
But
but,
the-
it has like the black
Yeah,
on
and-
it too.
Yeah, the black shoulders and the spider is black. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that
a
looks really
great
cool.
costume. That's almost second to Superior. It's great.
Yeah. I don't want to talk spoilers again about Spider-Man, but in the kind of funny spoiler cast for the show, they had I think the game director on, and he had a really good reason for why they didn't include the Superior costume.
Oh, did they ask that?
Yeah.
Somebody asked that?
Yeah, I think Greg was like, "Why isn't the Superior costume?" on
Yeah.
it?"
yeah.
What was
And
the
it's
reason?
spoilers.
Well, it's because who the big bad
The big
is.
bad guys. Okay, that makes sense. I guess from a lore perspective, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But the costumes don't necessarily follow the
It's
lore.
the same, but it's kind of the same reason why they didn't include the black suit.
Uh-huh.
Like those were two suits they wanted to avoid because of
Sure.
subject matter in the
Yeah, it
game.
makes sense.
Yeah, I guess. But then you have like it's not the Ghost Rider suit, but it's like the
Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah,
that's
but
not a
it's-
big Spider-Man suit.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it
it's just
also
weird.
it
I
also
don't know.
doesn't like affect the story, right? Because the black suit, only reason Peter ever got the black suit is because of the symbiote. So
yeah.
if it's not in the game, then how the hell
That's true.
how the hell do you have the black suit?
They're gonna make a really good sequel.
I hope so. I hope it's a little bit
really
better.
good sequel because this game already feels like a sequel.
Hey,
I'm excited for the DLCs too.
Mister. I didn't take my PlayStation. What are you playing?
I actually might go and pick it up.
So you can do Mass Effect.
Well, the main reason I didn't take it is because my grandparents' internet isn't super great,
Okay.
and so I was like, well, I can just play games on my PC. It's like 10 days.
Sure. Yeah.
But I kind of want to start jumping on the Festival of the Light stuff or Festival of the Lost stuff.
It's fun.
So the main thing I've been playing this weekend is Destiny Forsaken on PC. Something that happened though, which was fucking great, and I didn't even realize how great it was. So I was still part of the Twin Stick Radio clan, and at some point people had gotten an engram, and I was like level 30.
Was it a Nightfall one? Because that was Daniel and I at some point.
Yeah, I guess it
You're
was.
welcome.
I was level 30 at the time because I still hadn't completed Warmind with the character on PC. So I went and picked up the engram because I just saw it was there, and I got a 503 piece of gear,
Damn.
and I could wear it at 43. And let me tell you, having a 503 piece of gear at 43, by the time that I was like 48, I was at power
Sure.
level
I was
500.
gonna say it sure bumped your light level
Yeah,
up.
and by the time that I started Forsaken, I was already like 440.
good.
So playing that game with that light boost and just being able to go from contract to contract to contract for the wanted people,
Sure.
it changes that game so much. I had
good.
so much more fun on this playthrough without having to do the stupid like hour grind just to get
Nice,
up like
man.
10 power levels.
Well, I'm glad we could help
So yeah,
Glad you
and-
could
'cause
piggyback
we-
off our hard
because
work.
we didn't get shit from that Nightfall.
yeah, I mean at this point the Nightfall's not worth doing.
Well, we wanted the it was the corrupted one. We wanted the pulse rifle. Didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, unless you're
Sounds
going for
about right.
triumphs, like I just.
Yeah.
But Festival of the Lost started today.
did.
And it's neat. I played through the beginning mission and then
Mm-hmm.
I had to go do stuff. But I really think, based off of just my one time going through, I understand that this is probably not going to happen, but it should happen. Like the whole
Please say what
infinite,
you're
the haunted
saying.
forest thing
Please say it.
should be in the game all the time.
Why the fuck isn't Junkenstein's Revenge in the game all the time? Why the hell isn't this in the game all the time? What the flying
Like
fuck, man?
I get that it. I get that.
Jesus.
I get that it can't always have the haunted theme, but the fact
No,
that
but it can be an activity that is.
it took them
It's not money.
it
Fuck
took
that
them
shit.
almost a year to do anything meaningful with the Infinite Forest. It is so much fun. Just that one pass where you go through, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, we did 4. We got all the way to, I don't know how deep it's supposed to go, but the Triumph's at 7. We got all the way to the 7th branch. I don't know if it goes past that. There's no Triumph 4 past that, so we might have gotten all the way through it.
So
For the uninitiated, what is said forest?
Okay, so in Curse of Osiris, they introduced this story element called the Infinite Forest, which is supposed to be the Vex simulating a bunch of different realities, all to try to find a means to an end where the Vex rule the universe. So this thing is always constantly simulating different realities. So it was extremely underused in the game. Curse of Osiris, because it sounds super fucking cool.
You basically run through the Infinite Forest to get to like the final area of the mission, and it's never used. But the way that it functions is it's procedurally generated.
Yeah.
So anytime that you walk into the Infinite Forest, it uses different tile sets, and the tile sets are mostly similar, but you never know what enemy you're going to run into or what order it is. Or how to go through, but it was really only used to get between sections of a level.
And so they repurposed that for the Haunted Forest, where now it's an activity, a match-made activity. Look how fucking easy it was to match-make an activity.
Well, it's cool too because you can even go through it solo.
Yes,
you can jump in a solo playlist and just fucking play.
So they reused this thing, the Infinite Forest, and called it the Haunted Forest for this Halloween event. And they just basically turn the light box down, so it's super dark. When you get in there, your ghost is your flashlight.
Okay,
and it's pretty dark, and it's kind of freaky because you really can't see the floor unless you're looking at it. So you're not 100% sure if you're about to walk off the edge or not. It's neat. So anyway, they use this randomly generated, procedurally generated tile set to make an activity where you have 15 minutes to try to clear as many waves as you possibly can. And the way they do it is really cool. You jump into a tile set and you have a percentage. And so like red bars are 2%, yellow bars are like 10%. And you want to get to 100% and you get instantly teleported to a boss wave. So you're in this little kind of circular thing and you try to burn that boss down as fast as you can. And you get put right back into the next, what they're calling branches. Okay. And you go from branch to branch to branch to branch. And it's a really fucking great activity, man. It's super fucking good. But once again, the only reward is their currency to buy shit from Amanda Holiday. Armor doesn't come from it. Weapons don't come from it. Nothing comes from it. But
well, one thing does that's super worth saving up for and buying is
the auto.
They
rifle.
have a 600 power level 600 auto rifle.
Yeah.
Which is the only time that I can think of in Destiny where, like, I'm right now at like 508 on PC. It's the only time in Destiny where I've had the ability to just grind for something as long as I want to grind for it and buy a max level piece of gear.
That's crazy.
It's great.
Is it always this? Is it? Are there random rolls on that 600?
No,
or
it is Zen Moment and Rampage, which is a damn good auto rifle.
Wow. But it's based off of a model of a different gun, and I think its stats are origin story, and I think its stats are fairly similar.
Yeah, but you know, again, with that positive, because that is a positive. The fact that people, what did I say before? It's like, oh, I need boots. Just let me go fucking get boots. Now it's like, oh, I need a kinetic slot. Now you can just go grind because you know where the kinetic slot is. I just don't understand how this hasn't been in the game since fucking day one. However, with that positive comes negatives. It's like, now it's like, but once you get the auto rifle, and then once you get all the masks that you maybe want, and then once you get all that stuff, then what? Well, then now I'm just fucking hoarding fractured souls for what?
That's not a huge deal to me because it's a fairly short event. It would be one thing if this was like a new game mode that was going to be there for forever.
But it should be because what they did is they took the armor that they designed for Festival of the Lost. The Hunter armor makes you look like a fucking scarecrow from Batman Arkham Asylum. It's amazing. It's tied to Eververse. Why the fuck can't I go grind fractured souls and buy randomly generated armor from the fucking holiday lady? What the fuck, guys?
Well, this whole thing, like, it's so silly because, like, I'm also at a point right now playing with a new character. I kind of was just hit with the amount of shit to do. Like, I still need to get my weapons from Osiris.
Yeah.
I still need to get like my 3 exotics from Warmind through the quest. I still haven't opened up the Dreaming City. Plus, I have all my milestones.
This is why I don't play on PC.
No, but
nope.
like.
Thank you.
On one hand, it's a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
On one hand, it's a little bit overwhelming, but on the other hand, I really think that I'm having more fun right now than I've had like the past couple of weeks in Destiny, because I have specific quests that I can go do, and I'm getting a worthwhile reward. Whereas like my last 2 weeks in Destiny have all been dependent on random drops.
Absolutely, yeah.
So with Festival of Lost 2, I'm just like, I logged on to Destiny today, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But also like, yes.
Yeah, and another positive is I mean, if they were, I thought they'd be in the mindset of Forsaken, and I thought, man, this auto rifle is going to take weeks. It's going to take the entire time to get it. Dude, I got 43 of those Fractured Souls. You need 120 in 3 hours worth of play.
Oh,
if you just do the bounties and
yeah.
jump in the forest, like there's no reason why you shouldn't get it.
A well-oiled team of 5, I'd say 550 and above, can get to wave 7 easily. And that's 8 Fractured Souls every 15 minutes. You'll have that. I mean, literally, if we all sat down on a Saturday and just played for 3 or 4 hours, we'd all have that 600 auto rifle easy.
Do you think that's too easy? Because that's
no.
I mean,
no,
that's
I don't
powerful
think. No,
rifle,
I don't
right?
think so.
For the amount of time that the event's going on, it's not.
No,
too
it is
easy?
not a powerful rifle because there's not. It's not. It doesn't have a unique perk. It's just a 450 auto rifle with Zen Moment and Rampage. I already have 2 other auto rifles with Zen Moment and Rampage, just in a different archetype. But it's cool looking, but it's also 600.
Yeah,
that's the
the main.
You know, I mean,
cool
like
if it had like a perk, like there was a perk that was data mined called started with an O, doesn't matter, but it was a perk that was data mined that apparently is in the game. It's just not on any weapons. It's rate of fire increases per stacks of Rampage. That with a gun with Rampage it'd be a godly auto rifle. But if this gun was that, then I'd say, hey man, 400 of those Fractured Souls to get something like that, because that's just. Right. Can you imagine something like that?
You don't want
in
everybody
PvP?
having that.
Oh my god, dude!
That's probably why it's not in the game.
Exactly.
It's probably like they probably had it in the game and then realized, oh, this is broken, and took it out.
Look
anyway,
at them.
So yeah, you know what? I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit more.
We got Destiny's our first 2 news stories, so we're just gonna jump on the news so we can continue this conversation and close
Destiny.
it up.
News.
Number 1, in Bungie's weekly update for October 11th, the studio announced that as of today, October 16th, the purchase of Destiny 2 Forsaken will include the previous 2 expansions at the $40 price point. The studio says this decision is to, quote, eliminate some of the questions that confront a player as they try to join our party, end quote. Those that purchased Forsaken before October 16th will receive a unique emblem, shader, 2 exotic emotes, and a consumable bundle, not bungle.
I was like, what's a bungle?
Yeah.
Super Bowl bungle.
So
Black Friday bundle.
So
do y'all get those things too?
Yes.
Or, okay.
That's part of the reason why I jumped and bought it on PC, because I really wanted to just have that black shader. At some point,
the shader's cool. The shader's that Tiger shader from Destiny 1.
I want to start streaming games again. Like I've been doing it on and off, and that's part of the reason why I'm leveling up a Guardian on PC, because streaming just from PC is easier than hooking up my PS4 with a capture card and all that bullshit. But yeah, you should buy Destiny.
Yeah, because now you can literally go buy base Destiny 2 at GameStop for I think $12.99.
Well, he has it for free from PlayStation Plus.
He didn't get it.
No, I didn't get
because
it.
he's an idiot.
You're so dumb.
That's what I said. Fucking dumbass. So $12.99, I think, maybe $20 at GameStop, and then another $4. Still going to cost you about $60, but now you get everything.
Yeah,
which is really nice. I know, right? Fucking
yeah.
All you had to do was sign up for fucking PlayStation Plus and hit add to fucking library.
They give you
Look,
like
man,
a free
I
month
tried.
when you buy your fucking PlayStation.
That's
they give
true.
you a free 14 days, and it didn't work. I tried.
No, you didn't.
I still think you're wrong.
Also, only bad thing is those 2 exotic emotes will become available in Eververse at some point in time in the future.
Well, it's kind of this. So
that's the only kind of thing that's like, man, that kind of sucks.
I almost bought. This is really fucking annoying. Actually, I'm very frustrated about this. I almost bought. So I really wanted Cade's Stash because Cade's ship.
Did you not get that?
Well, I have it on PlayStation, but I was trying to get Cade's Stash on PC. Because Cade's ship is my favorite ship in Destiny right now. I know everyone's using it. I know it's like basic bitch to the extreme, but I fucking love that ship.
It totally is basic bitch.
But I love it. I just think it looks so cool. So
that's funny.
I was trying to. There's 2 ways to get Cade's Stash on PC. You can buy the $60, just the entire. It's the Forsaken collection.
Okay.
Comes with Cade's Stash, or you can buy the $80 like super expensive collector's edition that really okay, so it comes with the season pass, which is great, but the two special things it comes with is like an emote and an ornament for a bow.
It's not an emote.
For an exotic
it was
bow.
No, it wasn't the exotic bow. That's an ornament for arsenic bite.
Oh,
It's a blue ghost, and then
I'm sorry, it was a ghost. Not
Yeah,
an
yeah,
emote.
yeah, and then something else, something that's not worth $10.
Basically, it's you're selling me something for $80 and it's not fucking worth it.
nowhere near worth it.
So I couldn't buy the $60, but I was totally down to just buy the $60
Sure.
thing, even though I own the 2 DLCs and Destiny on
Sure.
PC. I was totally down to do it. Wouldn't work because it's like, oh, you already own the game. I'm like,
Oh
fuck it,
my
just let me give you
God.
$60, you asshole.
Take my money.
And the collector's edition stuff just was not worth it.
So
There
you
was no way
can't
I was
get
going to do
it.
it. However, the Cade Stash stuff is going to be, according to Blizzard's website, is going to be available to all players in January,
Oh, that's good.
which is good.
I think that's good. This is not.
It's good. However, it's also a little bit frustrating that like I get that it's good. It's good for me. I'm going to benefit from
Well,
it.
no, I think it's different because this is something that I think anybody had the chance to get, and it was all just bonus stuff. You know what I mean? It's just stuff that was kind of given to you because you did this one thing. This, on the other hand, is they basically are giving away what we paid $30 for. And now that's free. And so their rebuttal was like, we understand you guys paid $30. Granted, it was a year ago. I understand that. But here's these things that we think is worth the $30 and a year's worth of play. It's like, yeah, you know what it totally is. That's really fucking cool because I'm going to be the only person in the world. Well, not the only. I'm going to be a very small portion of people in the world that have these really cool emotes. Oh, by the way, those emotes are going to be in Eververse in, a few months. Like, well, fuck. But at least the shader and the emblem are going to be unique, which is cool.
I'm never mad about spending money on Destiny.
Of course not.
There's never been a time in my life where I've regretted spending money, and this is not one of them. However, I do really, really think that this is not worth not worth it.
Sure.
If I was someone like say Justin, we had talked him into buying it, right? He goes and drops $60 to get everything when really like he could have gotten it for a little bit cheaper. Or if he had the PlayStation Plus version, he could have gotten it for $40.
Idiot.
That's just kind of stupid. And I don't think that the reward makes up for that.
Sure.
Like the emblem doesn't count anything. So let's be real. We're gonna put it on for like a week. And
Sure.
then be done
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
it.
Because dude, the seventh level clear in Haunted Forest, that emblem you get, fuck, it's sexy as shit. So that's gonna be anyway. Go ahead.
And the shader's fine, and the consumables or whatever, but the emotes are going into the regular pool.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it, and I could understand why people are mad, but I also, it's like the World of Warcraft thing, right? Like you can be mad that over the years you've spent $300 on expansions for World of Warcraft, but I would rather live in a world where as many people can play it as possible, and they're not being held down by money.
Sure. Yeah.
But I do still think these programs aren't worth it.
Yeah. I mean, but that's Bungie's MO. It always is.
Yeah.
Always is. So.
Yep. And
Again, sorry, before we go, we are day one Guardians. Day one.
Yep.
Literally alpha Guardians.
It's true.
That's actually, I would assume, outside of the streamer community, alpha day one Guardians are really rare. I don't think there's a ton of people still around playing Destiny that were there day one and in the alpha. I think the community's grown up, but I think we are fairly rare. And all we have to show for it is a stupid emblem that we don't even use.
Does it look cool?
No, it's a shitty emblem.
And that's the thing, like the emblems that they included that came from Destiny 1. Like,
yeah, they're not cool emblems, and they don't really. Nobody says, "Oh, look at that guy. He's a day one Guardian." There's nothing to really like. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel special.
They should-
As a veteran player, I don't feel special, which I guess is okay. But
I mean, I've played the alpha, beta, day one Guardian. I played the beta
of Destiny
for
2,
Destiny
yep.
2. Like I have been here every step of the way.
Yep.
And I feel like there's that legacy shit for World of Warcraft. Like, look at
there
this awesome
totally
mount.
is.
Or
100%.
look at this cool pet that I have.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody in World of Warcraft, inspected their character, found out what either they're wearing or they're on, and found out that I can't get it. It's crushing as a new player, but at the same time, it's like, That's fucking
like,
cool.
You're a god.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also encouraging though. Like,
It is.
because in 10 years you're gonna. I mean,
Sure.
You could have something
Yeah.
that
sure,
a new player
exactly.
wouldn't have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Does Destiny not have like a title system, like
They do.
under
They
your
do
name
now.
sort of thing?
yeah,
They
but
do now, but it's still one of those. It's like, it's less of an achievement and more of a fuck. I have to go do all of that.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anyone with a title, but the
Not
first
yet.
time I see someone with a title, I've decided to say, you don't fucking have a life, dude.
Somebody already has a Dredgen title. The
I know.
Gamma title.
I told you
You're
about
the
that.
one that told me
yeah,
about that. Yeah.
T-Rex has it.
Yeah.
They don't have any like old like they couldn't like give you guys
Titles
a title
just
for
came with
being
Forsaken and they're just
See,
Tiny
that would have been
Trans.
really awesome
like
too.
what like what
there
if
was
it's
a-
like Day One Guardian?
Yeah, if there was a title for like Day One Guardians.
That'd
or
be
like,
cool.
What? Yeah, that'd
But
be great.
I
but
also
there's-
think it has to do with fucking Bungie stat tracking because I don't even think that
Sure,
they
probably.
can tell if your Guardian's been there since day one.
Yeah, maybe not. The only way you can see if there's that emblem. That's it.
Yeah.
what I mean.
They
And
they just don't know you.
To
exist.
top off our Destiny news,
Yeah.
Bungie also announced details about the Festival of the Lost event coming to Destiny 2 today. The event will feature new triumphs, bounties, a new auto rifle, and new Eververse items. Players will be able to purchase Halloween masks with an in-game event currency earned through bounties. Bungie has also introduced a new game mode called the Haunted Forest. The mode will be playable through matchmaking solo or pre-made fire times. Finally, players will also have the opportunity to solve a murder mystery featuring Master Ives from Destiny 1.
That's not till the 30th.
Still,
Sure. Yeah.
that's going to
That
happen
starts on
during the
the 30th.
event.
A murder mystery.
I think the Haunted Forest is great. I think it's a great fucking mode. I'm perturbed that it's only here for a month. I don't understand it. I
good
don't
word.
get it.
I'm very annoyed about this too because you still hear people that are like, Sparrow Racing League should always be a mode. Sparrow Racing League, Sparrow Racing League. And now it's going to be that thing where for months you're just going to hear people bitch about how they want
Haunted
Haunted
Forest
Forest
should
to
be a
thing.
mode. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, and it's just they miss so many opportunities to make. And you know what? I understand where Eververse is the thing. I get it. I got a couple things already. I've got the infected looking ship, that real cool triangle ship with the weird red veins that go throughout it. I got that. I got the kitten ghost.
You know what's
super
first-
cute ghost.
It's
know-
like it looks like a kitten.
Yeah, it's your ghost, but it has like taped on cat ears and taped on whiskers.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fucking great.
You know what they're actually like, what she's actually selling this week, which I lost my shit over.
Was it the Tyrant Shell?
Yes.
Bought that too. Yeah. Yeah.
I broke down. I on PC I just got to a point where I had like enough glimmer to do anything with, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta buy not glimmer,
Yeah,
Stardust,
Brightdust,
Brightdust, yeah." And I was like, "Fuck," and then that's part of the reason why I want to pick up the PS4 because I want to make sure I buy that before reset.
Yeah, I did. I walked out of my PlayStation today with 2 exotic ghosts, an exotic ship, so some good shit from Eververse. I understand why Eververse is there. I get it, but the armor, the biggest thing for me is that really cool. The Warlock armor looks stupid. The Hunter armor looks badass. That Halloween themed armor being tied to Eververse is just so fucking stupid. Fucking, especially when it's random rolls, Trey. Armor from Eververse is randomly rolled.
Yep. You also can't pull it out of collections, which is really annoying. So I have to confess something real fast. Last thing on Destiny. I just have to say this because I feel so guilty.
Just play Destiny so you can get on this train. with us.
all right.
I said that I have never regretted spending money on Destiny, and I don't really regret this.
Oh, what'd you spend money on?
Ooh, he's about to
I
confess.
spent $15
On
fucking
what?
Eververse currency because on my PC character I
You
have
didn't
like
have
no
anything.
cool flair, and I really was just like, I just want a couple of cool things, and I spent $15, and it wasn't not worth it, but it wasn't worth it.
What'd you get?
I don't even remember. That's how. Like I know I
so,
got like
if
one
we're-
cool shit,
Mechanical
and a
camel
cool
sort of thing.
ghost, but man.
So if we're confessing, I did spend $5 in Assassin's Creed.
Oh my god.
I bought super cool armor that just, I think it looks awesome. And it's Assassin's Creed has like a upgrade system where you can upgrade armor as you level up.
But let me tell you, like the addiction, the gambling addiction.
Oh,
is
it's
real.
there. Yeah.
I bought that first one, and I was like, 3 of these weren't anything. I opened up 9 fucking packages, and I think I got an exotic ghost and
Okay.
an exotic ship.
At least
But
you
I
got
was
that.
just like, man, I really need to never do this again.
Yeah.
Not because I think it's a stupid model and I think it's
No,
dumb,
it's there. It's
but really like
the slot
because it
mach-
works.
the-
I
yeah.
could have dropped like $50.
It's there,
in
man.
a day.
The
goodness.
slot machine. What's it called? The slot machine theory. It's real and
Yeah.
it's there.
I'm so lucky I don't buy into that. I just
You would
That's,
if you
if
played
you did
if
it
you,
once.
If you played it,
but that's my thing. I just constantly just avoid it.
but that's the thing. As soon as you actually play a game where you are so invested in that spending extra money is just an afterthought to you, that's when they get you.
When a game is a hobby.
Because Overwatch, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
Overwatch,
fair, yeah.
Overwatch is not your hobby.
Yeah.
You just play it casually.
Right.
But if you got into Destiny and that became like your hobby, that is a game that above all other games you would play at least once a week. That once you find that game, which may be Red Dead, I don't know, that may get you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rockstar's going
All
to take
right.
more of my money. No.
that's okay. They deserve it. No, they
Moving
don't.
away
That's
from
not true.
Destiny, this is a long thing. There are a lot of quotes, and I also used I'm gonna say ellipses because there are just times where I had to cut shit out of a statement. If I say ellipses, just know that there was a little bit more there, but I didn't think it was important to the idea that I was trying to express. Now that I've given it an intro, in an interview with Vulture, Dan Houser, vice president of creativity at Rockstar, said that the team behind Red Dead Redemption 2, quote, "We're working 100-hour work weeks," end quote. In a statement to IGN, he clarified his comments, claiming that only his writing team, which consists of Houser and 3 other individuals, had the 100-hour work week. Quote, "The senior writing team, which consists of 4 people, ellipses, had, as we always do, 3 weeks of intense work when we wrapped everything up. We have all worked together for at least 12 years and feel we need to get this, that we need this to get everything finished, ellipses. More importantly, we obviously don't expect anyone else to work this way," end quote. He goes on to say that some senior people at Rockstar work this way out of a passion for a project and, quote, "That additional effort is a choice, and we don't ask or expect anyone to work anything like this. Ellipses. No one senior or junior is ever forced to work hard. I believe we can go to great lengths to run a business that cares about its people and to make the company a great place for them to work," end quote. This has been one of the biggest things that has been going on this week.
Dude, the fucking outcry on Twitter is insane. On the internet in general is insane.
Yep.
So to start things off, I think we need to establish like where we stand on whether or not we think this statement is 100% true. Because these kind of work weeks in video games, crunch is a real thing. It's a problem that's being talked about a lot lately, but it's a problem that's been in the industry for years. So in order to continue this conversation, I think we need to talk as a group about whether or not we think he's being honest in the statement to IGN.
I think he's being honest in a sense, and I think this can also expand not just to the video game industry, but to other jobs in general. He might think or consider that him and the 3 other people on his writing staff are the only ones staying there for 100 hours. But if you're working underneath them, you probably have this mentality of like if they're staying here, like I'm gonna look like an asshole for going home early. Whenever these senior executives are staying here putting in work, there's kind of that sense of the more you work, the better you look. Is kind of how we have it here in America. So I think he believes that only them are trying to do it for that long, but I think unintentionally people are probably going to stay longer to impress them.
There's no way to know if he's telling the truth. If I told you guys that I have played with a guitar player who played on stage with Michael Jackson, I mean, how do you know I'm telling the truth?
I think he's...
Does that make sense?
I think he's being honest with the heavy asterisks. Because that does make sense. I think that when he's talking about a 100-hour work week, he's very obviously talking about the writing team. But I also think that there are numbers between 40 and 100 that people should not be working. And I guarantee you, without a doubt, those people at Rockstar are working those hours.
Sure, I would assume so. But and that's the thing is I don't know anything about the development industry, but apparently the crunch time is a real thing. So as a developer, hey, sorry, but you don't get to complain about that. Just like as a musician, getting stiffed in money is a real thing, but that's something I don't necessarily get to complain about because it's just been in the industry for years. Does that make sense?
I think you can complain about something that's been in the industry for years.
Can you though? Because it's not going to change it.
I think
it's one of those things you just like learn to deal with and move on from it. If you don't want to, like you said, if you don't want to do it, then don't be a part of it. Not like you said, but like, hey, I don't want to be an asshole, so I am going to stay. It's like, well, okay, you don't want to be an asshole, so you're going to stay. Then you don't get to complain about it online because you've chosen to stay. I don't think anybody's actually forcing developers to work 100-hour work weeks. I don't think their bosses are going to them and like, listen, if you don't put in 100 hours this week, you're gone. I don't think that's a thing that is coming out of people's mouths. Maybe it is. I don't know. Again, I don't know. This is just my assumption. There's certain things in a job you just learn to deal with. You just learn to deal with it. Some things, of course, you don't. But when it comes to just work, some things you just have to suck up and deal with because it's a job. And when you sign that little contract, you kind of agreed to work with these things.
Keep talking. I'm gonna find something because I'll explain in a second. But
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I and again, I'm not trying to sound insensitive.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure 100-hour work weeks suck balls. Like I'm sure they do. But you know what else really sucks balls? Being up 48 hours because you have to drive from one end of the country to the other. That really fucking sucks. And
What are you referencing?
just being a musician.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I've been up for 48 hours once because I had to drive from one side of the country to the other.
Yeah, that's not safe. You shouldn't do that.
Well, that's my point is that I've chosen to do that. Are bookers making me do that? Is my producers making me do that? Are my producers making? No. Those are choices that I made. I at any point in time would be like, yeah, no, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. And I just walk away. Do I lose my job? Yeah, of course. But nobody's making me do those things.
I guess I don't know, but I don't know. If it feels different, and maybe it's because it's
It feels different because it's on the internet, Justin. It feels different because there's a shit ton of people on the internet that are like, "Oh, SJW, we don't want to work for this. This is real bad." No. That's why it feels different because there's a shit ton of people that have outcried about this before he even is able to clarify his statement. And there's a bunch of people on the internet that have worked as developers and been like, hey, these 100-hour work weeks are real, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, but just
that's
because...
the asterisk there is you did not have to work 100-hour work weeks. You chose to work 100-hour work weeks.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't agree with the statement of, like, just because something... Like, I don't agree with the statement of, well, they signed up for this. They knew what they were getting themselves into.
Apparently, the crunch has been real. So
I agree that the crunch can be real, but that doesn't mean that it's okay.
I'm not saying that it's okay. In no way, shape, or form have I said it's okay. I said it's been in the game industry for years. So if you're wanting to get into the development industry, you have to understand that this exists in the gaming industry.
But would you agree that if you want to change something that you have to first bring it to light? Like, if people don't realize that this is a thing, like, if people aren't talking about this, then no one kind of collectively knows that this is going on.
Once again, it's a different subject. Yes, I agree with you. I think it should
be.
But
that's why they're complaining.
I'm going to clarify some stuff. This is Anthony Gallegos used to work for IGN. Now he does Rebel FM. I'm part of his Discord server for his Twitch channel. It's nothing special. Anyone could literally sign up. But now he works in the gaming industry as a developer. And
wasn't he Marvel Heroes?
Yeah, he worked at Gazillion. Now he works for Torchlight, which is the Diablo inspired game. Yeah. So he was. People were talking about this on Discord. It created a whole thing. But I want to read a couple messages that he said. He said, at Zombie Studios, I crunched pretty much the entire time I worked there. Gazillion, we did regularly as well, but like it was more like an extra hour or two, and sometimes a Saturday. It was mandated. It wasn't pressure. And then someone asked him, mandated, wow. He said, yes, you're expected to do 10 hours a day, etc. Food will be provided, but yes, it was explicitly stated that this would be happening. At Gazillion, with a lot of advance notice, and they would understand if you couldn't. At Zombie, it was just the way things were. Zombie, it also meant we can't stay open, or we can stay open or not. And then he goes, but inevitably, crunch is always a failure of management to plan correctly, pretty much without exception. I think people are okay with more. If people are okay with more teams being laid off, we can mandate not staying longer as a rule. Because I can tell you, when you're owned by a larger entity, if you don't deliver, regardless of the reasons, they will close you down. And I think that's pretty much the important parts. I mean, he has a lot more interesting things to say, but I think he laid out kind of my thoughts and what I was thinking when this broke just exactly. Mm-hmm. On one hand, like this, you do sign up for it. He was saying in a different string, which is what I was looking for. A lot of times it's in your contract when you sign.
Sure.
On the other hand, I 100%, and listening to David Jaffe talk about this too on Colin Was Right.
Creator of God of War.
Yeah, creator of God of War. It comes down to bad management.
Sure.
You're given a deadline. This is when this game needs to be done.
Sure, yeah.
And you're not handling your team correctly.
Sure.
And so now they have to stay and work 10-hour work days or even longer, sleep
Sure.
at the office, eat at the office. And I also think that it's a consumer problem too. Because had Red Dead been delayed again, right? Didn't they say it was supposed to come out like last November?
I don't remember, dude. Maybe. I would have said earlier this year, maybe.
I think when they announced it, it was supposed to come out last November, and then it got delayed a year.
Okay.
But if they needed to delay it again, we as consumers would be pissed.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna sit here and
Generalizing we would have been
the
fine.
universal we.
Sure, yeah.
But then we're gonna sit here and fucking bitch about 100-hour work weeks and all
Right.
that. Like, we're demanding this as consumers. If your pre-orders weren't affected by someone needing extra time to put things out, like, that's how it is.
Sure.
So yeah, I do think it's a management problem. I also can see the side of like that's what the industry does. But across the board, like if you're a salary worker, I think it is unethical for a company to ask you to work more than the 40 hours a week that you're signed on to, regardless of whether or not it's mandated, regardless of whether or not it's in your contract.
If it's what's the word? Sparse, like Gallegos was saying, maybe 1 or 2 hours here, every once in a while, a Saturday.
Yeah.
That's just overtime.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Well, I mean, even salaried. Let's say, hey, you're salaried. You're not going to get paid extra for this. Are you okay? It's like every once in a while. Yeah, you know what? Fine. I'm as passionate about this as you are. I'm okay. I mean, I'm already salaried, right? So even when I'm at home sleeping my ass off, I'm still getting paid, right? So I'm okay with that. But if we take it to the extreme, like the internet did, and you have an entire studio of 300 plus people working 100-hour work weeks, now we've got a problem. However, that's not what's happening. Calm down, internet. That is not what's happening here. They possibly are working a lot of hours.
I would say it's probably as the game gets closer to launch.
Sure.
I would put money on people working 60
Sure,
hours a week
and I
for
would
3 or 4 weeks
assume there's a small portion of those people that are just pissed that they have to do that and will go on the internet later and talk about it after they maybe get laid off, because that's how video games work. You finish a game and you're laid off, or they move on to another project. At some point in time, somebody who was fucking salty as hell about that because they're various reasons, their work ethic isn't there, they just like to complain about shit, maybe they felt unpoorly treated, they will go to the internet and complain about it and make this seem like it's bigger than it should be. But I would say most of those people, it's like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. I'm here working already. I'm passionate about this game that I am helping create. Yes, I'm in. But if it gets overboard, we have a problem.
To your point as well, though, like, there are a bunch of developers that came out like earlier this year, I think in a Polygon article, and were complaining about their jobs and all that. But one of the things that you never really hear as far as like crunch and work hours go are people from Rockstar. People from Rockstar really don't come out and complain about their job.
I saw one dude on Twitter talking about how he survived the GTA 5 crunch, but he wasn't talking negative about it.
And maybe
that was the whole GTA 5 like wife thing or whatever, like that was a Rockstar thing. Do you not remember that?
What
are you talking about?
It was like an open letter written from people on the team's wives, basically stating like, we barely get to see our husbands because they're working like these long ass hours and blah blah blah. Like that was a
maybe
that was
I don't remember
that was a
that.
Rockstar thing.
Sure, I don't remember that
but
either.
but it's not a Rockstar employee, so maybe they're under NDAs. But my assumption is that the reason why Rockstar employees aren't complaining about it is maybe they feel like they're being fairly compensated.
Sure.
And to play devil's advocate yet again, like in that same interview with Vulture, I think he also says that they've had 7 years to work on this game. So if you're looking at a 7-year development period,
They have had 7 years.
it's a really long time to work on a game. So
Yeah.
maybe after 7 years, doing a couple weeks of crunch isn't a big deal.
Sure.
But I would guess that like these people are probably fairly happy. Maybe their wives aren't. I would probably be upset if I was married to someone and they were working 100-hour weeks or 60-hour weeks.
Sure.
I never got to see them.
Possibly.
But it sounds to me like they were given a
Maybe.
lot of creative freedom, because how many
Yeah.
games get 7 years to get developed?
Yeah, it's true.
However, I do want to err on the side of like, not in my part, and if you guys still have more to say, keep going. But in my part, I think crunch is bad, and I think it's a management problem. I think it's a publisher problem, and I think it is more than anything else a consumer problem.
Sure, yeah, I think I was gonna say more publisher, but I think publisher consumer have the most to do with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the only reason management is getting flustered is because they have been given deadlines that they know can't be met, but publishers and consumers don't care.
Yeah.
So they have to try to work in their crunched timeline and make it work. And unfortunately, that's a crunch timeline that they and his and her employers have to work as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Employers, but yeah,
because
it is. I think you're right. I think it's mainly consumer because we as a general population would have been pissed if Red Dead got delayed a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think, man, oh my God, can you imagine Reddit? Jesus Christ,
Yep.
if Red Dead got freaking delayed a month. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like these deadlines aren't made by people in the situation. They're so disconnected to where they don't think about each individual person at this desk, like having to put in like how much work,
Luckily, though, it's Rockstar. Rockstar can just say we're going to release this game whenever the fuck we want because it's Rockstar.
It's not going to hurt. Yeah, pushing it back wouldn't hurt their
No,
sales.
it would not.
At all.
They could push it another year and it probably wouldn't hurt their sales.
Yeah.
So
In happier Red Dead news, in Hauser's original interview with Vulture, he explained that Red Dead Redemption 2 contains 300,000 animations and 500,000 lines of dialogue. Hauser also revealed that the game is about 65 hours long, although I don't know if that's just
the
main path or like
story
everything.
is 65 hours long.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm down.
The
so
story.
down.
I saw an analogy. I don't know how accurate it is, but somebody was talking about the written script. And if you were to take the pages of the written script for every single NPC and main character and stacked it, they said it was 8 feet tall.
Wow.
I saw something that talked about how many voice actors they had on this. I want to say the number was like 700 voice actors.
Holy shit.
And even more motion cap.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Actors.
Yeah.
They were talking,
Insane.
They were talking too about how they don't plan on working with professional actors again because the experience with Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, yeah.
Okay,
good. Hideous.
And
was just awful.
and Chuck C or something like that.
I don't know who that guy is.
I don't know. His name was thrown in there. I was
Let's
like,
be real.
whoever that is.
I only know who Burt Reynolds is because of Critical Role.
Burt Reynolds, Esquire. Yeah, man. And again, like, if you would have told me Assassin's Creed Odyssey was going to be 65 hours long, just a story, I would have been super excited. But after playing it, I'm not.
No, I told you 120 hours last week, and you're
Yeah.
like, that's not true. And now you're at 80, and you're like,
yeah, 75 hours in, but that's also me doing anyway.
yeah, no,
But
that's what I
yeah, but you telling me a Rockstar story is 65 hours long? Oh man, my willies are they're ready. My loins are ready, man.
I'm down.
Jeez.
I am
How
fully.
long was GTA's story? GTA 5.
I mean, it was long.
30 hours, 35, 40 hours.
I would not be surprised if just doing the story mode, like going straight story path, was 50 or 60 hours.
And GTA?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It was
at
pretty
all.
long.
Wow.
Because not
Wow.
well.
Wow.
And I guess I'm also including like side quests and stuff. Like,
Anything that had a letter for their
yeah,
name.
yeah.
So, how long to beat.com says main story 31 hours.
Oh, okay.
Average doing some extra stuff, it's putting at like 43.
Okay.
So,
yeah, so
I mean, pretty
but
decent.
From what I understand, that quote was 65 hours story.
Yeah.
Hundreds of hours
think
when it comes to just
I
overall.
looked at the quote and I didn't see him specifically say story.
I think a lot of news outlets were saying that.
But I also, it doesn't matter. Like,
Sure.
I would, like when I said 65 hours, I was probably thinking main path, maybe
Sure.
a side quest.
Sure.
But even in GTA 5, like it says the story, just doing the story is 31 hours long, but you can get in the single player mode
Hundreds.
150 hours of
Yeah.
gameplay. If you're trying to do everything.
Easily.
In Red Dead Redemption 1, like it was like 80 or 90 hours that I put into that game.
Yep, it's a long
So
ass time.
to me, like saying that just the story is 65 hours is not ridiculous.
I agree.
But we'll see.
Oh, man,
I'm fully prepared not to buy Fallout 76 because I'm still so like into this game. Not right away, anyways. Like I'm fully prepared to delay Fallout 76 and get to it whenever I'm bored or done with Red Dead.
Nope, can't do it.
You gonna balance the two, or are you just gonna drop
I'm gonna
it?
balance my face on your fist.
He makes his own schedule. He can balance whatever he wants.
That's fair.
If I made my own schedule, of course I would be balancing Destiny and Fallout and Red Dead. Blizzard may have revealed the title for the next Diablo project through its merchandise.
Through its mech.
Yep. I get so much. I love my typos. Like, I don't even go back and read them because they just make me chuckle.
It adds character.
The BlizzCon 2018 sale has 3 items that feature the phrase, quote, Diablo Reign of Terror, end quote. Blizzard has already announced that BlizzCon will have a panel titled Diablo, What's Next? And it has teased big news with its description, quote, join the Diablo team as they discuss what's in store for the heroes of Sanctuary, end quote.
Wow, YouTubers are calling it a DiabloCon instead of BlizzCon. This is basically what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
There-
This
there's-
year, yeah.
It'll be a Diablo 4 announcement easily.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way it wouldn't be.
So the thing that throws me off about this, and maybe it's intentional, like maybe they're trying to cover it up and they're just trying to tease it because I feel like Blizzard's pretty smart and they would do that. But the fact that there's not a number on that title, that it's just Diablo, whatever it was.
Maybe it's a playing card game.
Yeah, well,
Oh God, don't wish that upon
but it
the world.
it made me think that maybe it's not a mainline Diablo game.
That would suck.
It
I'd
depends
be
on what
honest
it
with
is,
you.
though, right?
Well, maybe. If they turn
earlier
Diablo
this-
into Overwatch, I'd be pissed.
Earlier this year, they did.
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
They did say that they're working on multiple Diablo titles, though.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I mean,
Maybe
this could be the
reign
lesser.
Maybe
of
the Reign of Terror is just the umbrella that Diablo is going to announce Diablo 4, and maybe like another, maybe a mobile Diablo game, maybe an actual card-based Diablo game.
Yeah.
Right. Heroes of the Storm, but with Diablo characters.
I'm sitting at like, well, there's already Diablo characters in here.
Oh, is there really?
I'm sitting
all
at like
Blizzard.
60%. This is Diablo 4.
I thought I thought Hearthstone was I'm sorry, not Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone.
Oh,
Like if there's like a Hearthstone version of Diablo called, I don't know,
Reign of Terror.
yeah, the Book of Cain or whatever it's called.
called Bloody Pile of Grossness.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
I'm really excited. It's like the first or second week of November, which is too far away.
That's 2 weeks away. It's first week in November. Nope, sorry, 3 weeks away.
It's a very long time.
Red Dead's between now and then, so
Well,
it's,
Red Dead's
it's
next.
a,
Red
It
Dead's
won't
next
feel
week,
long.
right?
Nope,
2
it's
weeks.
the
2
26th.
weeks. Okay.
10
kidding.
days from now. Oh God. All right, here we go. Buckle up, boys. PSN users will finally be able to change their names in early 2019.
I was trying to make a seatbelt noise, but I made a shotgun noise. I don't know why.
Didn't I do that last week?
I don't know.
But it's a complicated issue. The announcement was made on PlayStation's blog, and the post goes on to say that the ID change feature will be in beta as part of the PlayStation Preview program. The first name change is free. Subsequent name changes will be $9.99 or $4.99 for PlayStation Plus members. Users will have the option to display their old ID with their new ones, but you cannot change the display after you make your decision. Now on to the most confusing part. The feature will be compatible with PS4 games originally published after April 1st, 2018. That's supposed to be 2018, not 2019. However, a large majority of the most played PlayStation 4 games that were released before that date will also support the feature. Not all games and apps for PS4, 3, and Vita systems are guaranteed to support this feature, and users can encounter issues in certain games. Although Sony does not tell you what these issues are. If you experience issues after changing your name, you can revert back to your old name at any time. A list of compatible games will be published on PlayStation.com before the feature comes out of beta.
Who knew? Who knew that this thing that people have been asking for would come with so many caveats?
So
I didn't because Xbox does it just fine. There's no fucking problem in the world with Xbox.
the bright side of this is that in like 10 years, this problem won't matter. Like we'll look back and like chuckle about it.
Unless it doesn't get out of beta. If they're just like, if they're just like, no, it doesn't work.
The thing that's like frustrating to me is, what do you mean by they encounter issues? Like if I go
Sure.
to log into Destiny 1, is my Guardian going to be
Sure.
gone? Or if I go to log into Destiny 1, it's just going to be like, I don't fucking know who you are. You can't play the game.
It makes you make a new character because
Yeah.
it doesn't recognize your save data to that
if
name.
if it's
Sure.
just like, hey, make a new character, play the game. With some games, I'm gonna be okay. With Destiny 1, I would be pissed. Even though I'm never gonna go back to that Guardian.
I think
don't wanna lose that.
so. Assassin's Creed, most Ubisoft, anything that uses Ubisoft Club, I don't think you're gonna necessarily have an issue with because you have to sign in with your email. and the email is linked to your PlayStation account.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe you would have problems because you're changing your PlayStation account name. I don't know. I don't fucking get it.
Well,
I don't get it.
I'm okay with your save data's gone, or you can't log in and play Call of Duty with all your shit that you've already got.
No, but that's like that. What if that happens in Destiny? What if we change our name in Destiny and our Guardians are gone?
Well, that's. But if I can, here's the thing that worries me more, right? Like if the thing is like if I can't go and get my Guardian from Destiny 1 or Destiny 2, I will never change my name.
Sure.
At least not until Destiny's dead.
Right.
But if I cannot play a game because of a weird licensing thing with my new name,
Oh, I didn't think about that.
that is the bigger issue to me.
Sure,
And the
I
fact that
didn't
they're
think about
not
the
being
licensing
transparent
thing.
about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
really has me worried.
I just don't
Especially
get,
Sony buys digital games.
Why can't Sony just be like, do? That's me dialing on an old telephone, Microsoft. Hey, how do you guys do name changes? Oh, that's real. Actually, be like, oh, how you do name change? And
Oh
then
my
they're all,
God.
Oh well, normally it's just like this. It's like, oh, that's a real good idea. Thank you. And then I hang up. It's like, then they do it.
Thanks, Phil.
God, I just don't fucking understand how this is hard.
It's because the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Plus,
Sure.
PlayStation Online was fucking garbage.
Yeah.
That's why these problems exist. Xbox Live was a paid service, and it was great. It was great from inception. It just got better over time. And so everything works on it because guess what? They were like, hey, in order to use this, you got to pay. But PlayStation had to try to one-up people because they were losing because they tried to sell you a $600 Blu-ray player. And now they're fucked over because they took a shortcut.
$600 Uncharted player.
It was not $600 by the time Uncharted came out.
I don't know, man.
But the Xbox, we had what was it?
HDD.
HDD.
Yeah, HDD.
Yeah. I don't
Look at us
dislike
go.
my PlayStation name. I don't. I'd rather have Shortchange Hero, of course. I don't dislike my PlayStation name. However, I don't want it anymore because just like how many times do you change your Xbox name? Be honest,
Probably like 3 times.
Everett. How many times do you change your Xbox name? What an ass. I'm just kidding. You're not an ass. Everett. He just has a cool name. That's why.
I never changed my Xbox
Actually, I
name.
don't think I ever changed my name.
I
I
have.
think I made new accounts.
I have. Man, when I was a teenager and got Xbox and did all that shit, my first one was like Chaotic Arclight. It's like, what the hell was I thinking?
My name was
How many
Skater.
X's were XX?
No, there's no X's.
Chaotic Arclight underscore XX.
My
there's
name
no
was
X's.
Skater Boy Justin, spelled with an 8 in Skater.
Did you actually skate?
I did.
Oh well, that's good. At least you
you
weren't one of
listen
those
to
people that
Avril
said
Lavigne?
Skater Boy.
Did you listen to Avril Lavigne?
I have a memory of someone in like Call of Duty chat being like, "Are you a fan of Avril Lavigne and Justin Timberlake? Is that why your name is
Why
Skater
Justin
Boy Justin?
Timberlake?
Because Justin, Skater Boy Justin. I don't know.
My
I will forever remember that.
But you totally listen to Avril Lavigne. didn't
my
you?
Oh yeah, that song rocked.
my online names have always been some version of Darth Trey. However, get my Neopets account name. Because I kept making new accounts. This is ridiculous.
Me too.
I will never forget this fucking thing.
You both played
But-
Neopets?
Yes.
Yeah,
Nerds.
I kept making Neopets accounts, but my Neopets account that I ended with and was like my final account and that I put the most time into, my username was Anakin 6129312 because I had used like every version of 612 because that's my birthday.
I don't think I had a real email, so I kept forgetting my login for Neopets, so I always had to make a new one.
Yeah.
And then my stepmom at the time would always get mad because every time you made a Neopets account, you had to input a credit card number. Even though
no, you didn't.
that's what they did for me. Oh, no. You needed an email to verify things, and I
Yeah.
didn't have an email of my own, so I had to use
Yeah,
hers.
there was no way to buy shit on Neopets until like 2012.
Those are the days.
Parents listening, this is literally why parental controls
So,
exist because
well-
of kids like Justin.
Speaking of parental controls, in Neopets back in the day, if you registered and you were under 13, you couldn't use the mail feature and you couldn't go on the boards. So in order to get your account like to the point where you could message like that, your parents had to print out a sheet of paper, sign it, write your name on it, write your account number, and then fax it to the Neopets headquarters.
Yep.
And my parents did that.
I remember. I think that's why I needed a parent's permission.
need
It was because I was too young, so I needed to have. They needed to send an email to a parent. So then I think I made a Yahoo Mail account using my dad's name because I
What?
thought it would go that far.
what year is this in?
2005.
Yeah,
6?
2004, 5.
in
I
that
mean, basically,
era. Middle school.
And you had to fax.
from the time that I was about 7 until I was about 16, I played Neopets.
If memes were a
Whoa.
thing in 2005, you should have faxed that paper along with the meme of Robin Williams from Jumanji yelling, "What year is it?"
my stepmom had to take it to work and fax it from her.
Oh my god.
Because it was still like it was at that point where you didn't need a fax machine at the
Sure,
house.
yeah. Now everybody has a fax machine at their house. Hey, actually, I can't tell you how many people like, "Can I fax it to you?" No.
It's still
Just
a
fucking
thing.
email it to me. Just like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I can do that." It's like, "Yeah, you can, because it's a digital fucking thing that I sent you."
Did you know you can scan documents using Notes? I don't know if it does it on
There's
Galaxy.
apps to do it, yeah.
Like using the Notes app on your
Yeah,
iPhone,
sure.
and it converts it to a PDF.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
They can convert it to a writable PDF too if you outline the actual boxes.
the
yeah.
lines.
Mhm.
On fucking iPhone, you can make any. Well, I mean, just on mobile phones in general, you can make anything into a PDF.
future.
Is it the future? Because people still ask if they can fax me things.
Oh, I skipped a news item.
You did.
And it was perfect too because it fit in with what we were talking about. In an interview with Business Insider Australia, a Blizzard Entertainment representative said that the studio is, quote, actively working with partners at Sony and Microsoft to enable cross-console play with Diablo III on Switch, end quote. The representative went on to say, quote, it's a question of when, not if, end quote, in regards to crossplay. Blizzard then released a statement to IGN saying, quote, while we love the idea of bringing our players together across platforms, we do not have any plans to implement cross-platform play for Diablo at this time, end quote.
I'm sorry. So they said yes, and then they said no.
Official Blizzard representative said in an interview, we are doing this. It's a matter of when, not if it's going to happen. And then like a day later, Blizzard came out and basically said, that guy lied. We're not doing that. Although I think Blizzard is lying.
I was gonna say that's definitely
That's a Diablo Reign of Terror announcement.
yeah. That's something they're guarding.
Yeah,
like
I don't
an
think Diablo
announcement.
3 will do that, but I think you're right. I think it's a Diablo Reign of Terror
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
which I'm going to be a hopeful idiot all the time. But I hope that means that it's a Destiny 3 thing.
I still don't want Destiny to have cross
Oh,
play.
I don't want cross-play. I want
cross
cross-save.
save. Yes,
which
they're
is-
talking about cross play.
I'm,
My phone just died. Did you say cross play or cross save?
well, I said cross-play, but
Sure. I think Diablo cross play sounds great.
in conversations that I've heard, though, it sounds like it's also cross-save.
Save. Sure. Yeah. I think cross save should be a. That should be in every single game that you play that's on multiple
I
platforms.
also-
period.
But it seems like that'd be more complicated
Would it?
because you're gonna have to have I don't know how the cloud works or storage in general, but it's gonna have to be accessible from two different consoles. Like
All to the same server. Literally. The problem with the reason Destiny 2 will never happen is because it's all peer to peer.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing against somebody, they're using another dude's internet connection to make sure these internet connections are a thing. But like Blizzard, when I'm playing WoW and I sign into a server and I'm playing with, well, WoW is probably a bad thing. The whole thing started with, was it Fortnite or Rocket League, where they saw the
Rocket League was...
Sure. So Rocket League, everything connects to a server. And
Actually-
as long as it connects to, was it Fortnite?
I think it's
or-
Fortnite.
what are you
Okay.
talking about? Whenever there was
Whenever,
the
yeah,
accidental
I think
cross,
it's a thing,
that was
it was
Fortnite.
epic because it was epic.
It was Fortnite.
Well, Rocket League was cross-play,
Sure.
not cross-save.
We've had this conversation before. A game that connects to a central server as its main form of communication with other peers, it'll work. It's literally just a
switch.
matter of plugging in that fire and flipping that switch, or plugging in that, or disabling that firewall. That's literally all it is. However, when it comes to like Destiny, which is a peer-to-peer thing, yes, there are Destiny servers, but for the most part, the connection is whatever connection you have to other people. That's what keeps you playing
Well,
with other people, not the Destiny servers. So that's not going to work Destiny-wise.
Well, I think it could
but
work,
cross-play could,
I
because
think
you
it-
still connect to servers.
I think it could work, though. I think cross-save could work, though, because...
Cross-save, sorry, yes. Cross-save totally could work.
I
in
think
Destiny.
because you tie it to a Bungie account.
Yep.
My Battle.net, my PlayStation.
Well, it already is, isn't it? Like, if my Guardian's not stored on my PlayStation, is it? It's stored on a Destiny server,
yeah.
right?
So you just pull it from the Destiny
yeah,
server.
you just pull it from the Destiny
And
server.
For me, like crossplay for me is
Copy Guardian.exe/Xbox.
like
and
I
then
can
play it on
open
my
up the Blizzard
Xbox.
app and see all the shit I've
Yeah.
unlocked, or the Bungie app and see all the shit I've unlocked. But for me, the whole crossplay thing, I am fine with PvE content with it being crossplay.
Sure.
I sure let me match into a strike with a PC player. Just if you're gonna for PvP in every game, if crossplay is going to be a thing, let me opt out of playing with PC players if I
agree.
want.
Fortnite does that.
Yep.
Fortnite does it. If you're on an
think Rocket
iPhone,
League
you
does
can
too.
you can opt out of playing against people on console and PC,
Yeah.
which is great because I have not played Fortnite on my phone.
It's not good.
Yeah, I don't know how I would.
I know
be able,
people who prefer it on their phone.
It's because they're
Yeah,
mobile gamers.
That's probably because they've played every first-person shooter on their phone.
No.
And they've never held an Xbox controller or PlayStation controller before.
I don't know how.
As someone who knows these people I'm talking about, I can tell you that no, that's not the
I
case.
don't know
They just
how
prefer to
you-
play it on their phone.
I don't know how you build on your phone
Yeah.
and move as fast as like fucking Ninja does.
I don't think they compete with them, but they prefer how it feels on the phone. Don't know why, but
I guess I could see like.
I think now we have a new definition of who a gamer is and who's not a gamer.
well,
Like,
like
good lord, how do you prefer a mobile version of a freaking game that you can just go home and play on your actual console?
I would like to talk to these people and figure out
Yeah.
what it is. Is it just like I enjoy the fact that I can play this anywhere and it's convenient, or is it legitimately like the controls are so much better on phone than anything else? And I would just be curious to like break that down. a
Are
little
you
bit.
left-handed? Yeah. Huh.
well, there you
I
go.
feel like that explains a lot.
Ev is left-handed. Everyone.
Are you guys all right-handed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Depends.
1 in
depends on
4.
what I'm doing.
I think that's the stat. I really think the stat is 1 in 4 as a lefty. I really, really believe that's the actual stat.
I can do some things with my left hand.
Taylor,
I can throw a ball.
They're not
and
talking
stuff.
about master.
Taylor,
Not that.
Rich, Kat, and Whitney are one of them left-handed. I feel like Taylor would be the
I
left-handed.
don't think
Taylor's
Whitney's not
right-handed.
left-handed.
Is Rich left-handed.
Whitney's not left-handed. My phone said.
You don't know this?
I never see her right.
shit,
She's
I'm in
always on her
airplane
phone.
mode.
No, you should know this.
Really?
I don't think
Should
so.
I know if
not
my
in
girlfriend is
2018.
fucking right or left-handed?
Yeah.
Fine.
You see,
Fine,
you
then I
put
say right-handed.
you put this absurd like this tone on that's like I'm asking an absurd question, but
It
it's
is
like
kind
you
of
probably
It
should.
is kind of absurd. When was the last time you saw anybody write something down?
But when's the last time you saw someone using their more dominant hand?
I agree with I agree with Chris though. I feel like in a technological age, like what hand you write with doesn't really matter. Also, like there are weird things that I do. Jokes aside, there are weird things that I do dominantly with my left hand as opposed to with my right. Like when I'm serving at my job, I usually hand people things with my left hand.
But that's because you're holding the weight with
That's
your
not-
right
not
hand.
all the
That's
time.
not. That's not true. I'm right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
100% right with my right hand. I bat with my left hand. I
Whitney is not left-handed.
golf with my left hand. However, my strongest hand is my left hand.
From playing guitar.
Exactly. So if I'm holding on to something, my dominant hand is not my strongest thing. That I like groceries, right? Every dude does this. It's like when you get groceries, you're like, I'm going to carry all the groceries at one
It's
time.
one trip. We live on the third floor.
Sure.
I'm not making multiple trips up and down.
Left hand, like it's all in my left hand because that's my strongest hand, but it's because of guitar. But my dominant hand, 100% is my right hand. I shoot left-handed too,
Well, like-
which is super weird.
Chris and I have known each other at this point for 4 years. And I could not tell you what hand he wrote with until today. Because I legitimately have not paid close enough attention.
And to be completely
Chris's
honest, I would
movements.
have said Trey's left-handed. I don't know why.
You just think everybody's left-handed now.
Yeah, sure, maybe I do. I want to err on the side of caution, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking
Left-handed until proven
Yeah,
right.
I don't want to freaking insult somebody's fucking lifestyle because I called him right-handed. You know what I mean?
Are you assuming my dominant
That's
hand?
actually a fair point.
Did you assume my dominant hand?
Last on our news list, MPDs still aren't out. I looked for like an hour today and could not find them.
Spider-Man's number
Did
one.
you don't have it on here, but did you see the people's PlayStations getting bricked by?
Oh shit! I forgot to put that on
Do
there.
the last one. We'll cover.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. I knew I was missing something. Assassin's Creed Odyssey holds the best launch sales in the series for this current generation console.
It's good.
No official numbers have been given, but we do know that Origin sold twice as fast as Syndicate in a 10-day period. It is unclear if the statistic includes Black Flag, which shipped over 10 million units within 2 months. Jeffrey Sardin, Ubisoft's SVP of Sales and Marketing, said, quote, "We expect Odyssey to be one of the top performing Assassin's Creed games of all time. You can tell this was the last news item because I rushed through that shit. I was like, I'm done. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad.
Sure, yeah, it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great fucking game. I just hope they remember how they reevaluated Assassin's Creed with Origins?
Yeah.
I think they need to do it again. I'm
They
not
went too far.
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
not kidding,
opposite
man.
side,
I really think they swung that pendulum a little too far to something I don't think people were really asking for, to be completely honest. Like, I think people were asking for a more refined Assassin's Creed game because Unity and Syndicate and Black Flag and Rogue, it was just minor increments of the same game over and over and over again with minor improvements. And I think I honestly think Assassin's Creed Origins did a really fucking good job. But once again, even with Origins, I said there was too many question marks on the map. Like, I don't need that much. I don't need that big of a map. And then they went. It's mind-boggling how big Odyssey is. It's too big. I think they swung it too far. Yeah. But good sales is always good. That means we're getting another Assassin's Creed, and I'm totally down with it because the Assassin's Creed portion of this game, which is super small, super fucking awesome. I love it. I'm so dude. When the big Assassin's Creed future technology ancient civilization twist happened, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so good, and I'm super in because it wasn't there before. It was just it was a Greek RPG that was super cool until the assassin stuff started happening, and then I'm like, I'm back in.
They figured out a way to work it in to where
they
you're
figured out
okay
a way.
with it.
They figured out a way to work in the ancient civilization that governs the overall story of Assassin's Creed.
Right.
Yes,
Like
and
you
it
had,
works.
like you had like this foundation, and then Odyssey comes in and it's like, let's build up the dirt underneath the foundation.
Yeah, basically, because I mean, like I've said before, in a lore standpoint, the assassins and the
Not until
Templars don't
Egypt.
exist. Yeah. So it's really cool, super cool how they're doing it, and I'm in. But I really I hope they take another year to reevaluate. Like, okay, this is what we did in Odyssey and Origins. What did people like? What did people not like? Unfortunately, I think most people are enjoying the fact that this game is the size of fucking Donald Trump's ego, and it's huge.
It's huge.
And I don't think that's a good thing for the series. I just don't.
They just need to find the average, like a happy middle.
I think a happy middle was Origins. It was big, but it wasn't. I would say Odyssey's 2 times as big as Origins map, and it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, if all these games are going to go open world, they really need to sit down and make meaningful content.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. They need to err on the side of deep content, not wide content.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to wade through ankle deep water. If I'm going to get in water, I want to get into water. Does that make sense?
You want to drown.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Right,
yes,
real depth as opposed to artificial.
Exactly.
Depth.
I don't want to get my socks wet. If I'm going to get in water, I'm ready to freaking get butt ass naked or in a swimsuit and dive right in. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to get phone out of my pocket wet.
Yeah, I want to get phone out of my pocket wet. Phone and plastic baggie wet.
Can that be like a scale? So from now on, whenever we're judging like the story of a game,
Sure.
it's like how
Not
how
story,
wet was
just
it?
like gameplay.
Sorry, yeah,
just how a
gameplay.
game is designed. Sure.
It's like, are you taking your phone out? Are you getting
Sure.
like an extra T-shirt?
Sure.
What are you doing?
I'll be honest with you. I'm a little worried about Division because of this. Like, I don't want to jump into Division and have this ankle deep map that I can just sort of go explore.
Yeah,
and
but
like,
the Division's a multiplayer game. I
it
feel like
is a
that's-
multi.
I feel like
you're
that's
right.
less
And it's
of
a
a problem.
completely different
Yeah.
developer. It's not Ubi developing it. Massive is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you might be right. Anyway.
I pulled this from PlayStation Lifestyles because I forgot to put this in the news. Yesterday, we reported on an issue multiple Reddit and Reset Era users stated that they encountered. Random PlayStation Network messages resulted in a soft lock of their consoles, forcing them to perform a factory reset. While this doesn't render the console unusable and affects only the account targeted, a factory reset means your hard drive will be wiped, not to mention the process can take a few hours to complete. Many publications that reported on this issue reached out to Sony for comment. The company has responded in an email to VG247 stating, quote, "We are aware of the situation and we are planning a system software update to resolve this problem," end quote.
I'm sorry. What's causing this? Number one.
So
The bulk of these issues seem to stem from matches in ranked multiplayer games. Basically, people would send you a message with a specific string of characters, and opening that message would soft lock your console.
yeah, it was specifically it was happening to people who were playing, I think, in Siege and Destiny 2. Your opponents would send, like, they were just, I don't know if it was during game or after a game, but they would send you a message, you would open it, and then it would just lock you out. And then
Wait, how?
I guess, I don't know, something, I don't know how code works, but whatever they were typing in, and I don't think anybody said what they were typing in, because it's still a
People
problem.
would do it, sure.
Yeah.
So people
Some people couldn't even get into their, if you were able to delete the message using like an outside source, so like a piece, like getting on your computer and like going to the PlayStation Network and stuff, you might be able to fix it that way, but a lot of people were having to do a factory reset.
What the fuck? So people have huh?
Like little Trojan.
Yeah, it's
Kind
like a
of,
little
yeah.
People have figured out a way to affect the actual like
Hardware
behind the
of
scenes infrastructure software
Yeah.
to brick your system or to that's weird in a message.
So
God,
this
that's
is
fucking
interesting.
Crazy.
They would send two symbols. I'm just going to read this. This is super interesting. Over on Reset Era, many users have pointed out that this glitch is something iPhone users have experienced in the past. It seems to be a text-based exploit that Redditor Borg Drone does a good job of explaining in layman terms. There are all kinds of interesting ways you can fuck up text processing, especially if you're coding in C, C++, or another unsafe language. For example, say messages have a maximum size of 140 characters, and you naively reserve a fixed size of 140 bytes to buffer for them. As long as people are just sending plain English messages, no problem. But when people can enter other characters like emoji that are encoded using multiple bytes, you suddenly get a message that is too large for the buffer, even if it's only 140 characters. That doesn't necessarily mean only 140 bytes. It does for simple text, so you don't notice during testing until someone posts a bunch of Unicode text and boom.
So an emoji. So 140 characters is comprised of 140 bytes, and in a normal English language, a byte is a
One letter
character.
is one byte.
Typing the alphabet into your thing is 26 bytes or 26 characters.
Yes.
Emojis, on the other hand, are comprised of multiple bytes. So if you type in, let's say 139 emojis and hit send, that's way over the 140 bytes that it's capable of processing, and
Yeah.
it does something.
Which is apparently these two emojis had enough bytes that
It's bricking.
went over. Yeah. Which is something that happened. Like I'm
Interesting.
coding in C++ right now. And
Brag about it.
no. But one of the things that you have to do when you write a program
Thanks, Ev.
No, one of the things that you have to do when you write a program is that you literally have to. So say I want you as the user to enter in a number, right? So I want you to guess a number between 1 and 10, and
26.
I tell the user like what number do you want, and you enter in 26. If you just enter in 26, you'll break my program because my program doesn't have any way to deal with that. So you literally have to make a if statement. That is basically like if the user inputs more than this number, you have to put an error message in the program. Like you literally have to write that out. C++ doesn't automatically say like, oh, this is not right. You have to write that code into your program. So that makes a lot of sense to me. It's not checking. It's obviously not checking the amount of bytes that people are sending. And it's sending over that limit, and your console doesn't know what to do with it. It's literally going into a loop because it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
So it's not necessarily like breaking your system. It is putting your system into a processing loop that it can't figure out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because most programs that I'm writing right now, they just run from a console window. So you can just close the console window and it's
Sure,
fine.
that's fucking crazy, man.
And I guess, and
I say
because you can't really turn off messages. Like it's
So,
always running in the
but
background.
Sure.
And I think the problem is that when you open the message, it's just loop soft locked there. and since your console's already soft locked, like how many times have you ever soft locked your PS4 to the point where you need to factory reset it? It's probably
Never.
such a rare problem and something that Sony didn't expect.
Had it for a month. So
that
no.
you're even when you turn the console off, it's still in that
Yeah,
loop.
never.
So yeah, I mean,
And I have like a year one PS4. Never.
yeah, I don't think I didn't even soft lock like a GameCube or Xbox 360.
I had more bugs happen in Spider-Man 4. We talked about that at Draft House one night. That I was encountering. I probably encountered like 5 different bugs to where like I had to like revert to a save, and he never did. And I'm running it on a Pro, and he's not.
I never. I'm the infamous one that like the Unity glitches that made Assassin's Creed Unity the worst game ever made. Never saw any of them.
So weird.
I mean,
Like I had one that just like was infinitely making me fly up into the air. Could not do anything about
That's
it.
not a bug. That's a superpower.
yeah, it's the secret Superman mode. I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that the game is outputting at a higher resolution.
So
I
and
wonder
so
if
it's
just a little bit more stress on the engine.
So and what they're saying is that because you played a ranked match, it's not the reason. You're pissing somebody off, and they're sending you the message because of it.
Yes,
or
it
they're
is.
just being a troll.
Yeah, right.
It's,
so that's
it's,
what
it's
I
a
mean.
user-generated
Like,
message.
Yeah.
It's people doing
Yeah,
it.
so basically your ranked play, right? You're pissing somebody off. Sweaty match, you piss somebody off, and they've sent you this message.
Which reminds me, and should remind everyone else here, like, if you're playing any online games, in fact, even if you're not, because I get messaged by, like, girl bots all the time on PlayStation, just go and change your settings right now.
Wait, do you really?
Oh, yeah, I actually have one. You want me to read it to you?
I used to get those on Xbox.
They're not pictures. I was gonna say, how can I get on the subscription train?
No, it's really how are these people on PlayStation? Like, how did
Well,
it
it's like-
extend that?
It's
far?
like Twitter. I'd say like 10% of my followers on Twitter are all fucking porn bots.
Yeah. It's just really fun to like answer back to them because they never like they reply in like a set way. So they never answer what you're saying.
So speaking of this, I got a new phone number because my old phone number, something was wrong with my phone, and I've had a number. He explained it to me. I don't think it made a whole lot of sense, but my old phone number was literally so old that it was messing my phone up. It was messing my SIM card up. Like I don't understand how it was. So I had to get a new phone number.
They're just like, Chris, this is only 6 digits.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even make numbers like this
I had to
anymore.
get a new phone number. Well, now that I have a new phone number, there's no such thing as a unique phone number anymore. There's no way. Just period. No way. There's a unique phone number anymore. So I have somebody else's old phone number that they had for however long, right?
Okay.
So every once in a while I'll get messages from Mexico or somebody who's speaking Spanish is like, hey, wrong number, blah, 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 blah. But I'm also getting these like solicited text messages now. So like, hey, click this link through your text and you can get, 50% off your car insurance and like all this other shit. Well, so they're annoying. So I'm learning. Winnie showed me how to block shit.
them, yeah.
But it's group text. So it's like 10 or 11 people in a text are getting the same thing. So if I get it, most people are like, stop, right? To stop it. I just tell them to fuck off. And they did stop. They stopped sending them. Anyway, the other day I got a text message. I ignored it because that's what I do until like later on in the day. And I opened it and it's literally a nude picture of this chick. And it's like, what the fuck? And so it's like, I'm looking up I Google the phone number and it's a bot. It's a bot sending nude pictures to people's phones. It's like, what the fuck? I have this freaking phone number now and I'm getting random nude pictures from girls.
Dude, you got like a drug dealer's phone
I know,
number
I
or
guess, like
something.
Barney Stinson's phone from How I Met Your Mother, but it's like, and I Googled it to make sure like what the hell's going on, and it's an actual bot. People have all received this message before.
I do anytime.
It's so fucking crazy, man.
Anytime
That happened to me. It happened
happened?
to me. I got a random picture, of looked like someone took it like this of a naked woman.
And you were like, "What's that?"
I was more like, dude, delete.
A naked woman did not send you a picture.
Yeah.
It is probably a bot. Actually, somebody at the draft house might have sent you a naked picture.
Shit, maybe.
That's what I mean. If anything
go.
about the restaurant industry that I've heard is real, it's probably a fair assessment that you could expect maybe a nude picture from somebody you work with if you're in the restaurant business.
So
Is that a wrong thing to assume?
I didn't get that at the draft house.
Mr. Sabby6 says, hey, And I didn't know that it was a fake person because I have friends like that will find me through Facebook all the time because your Facebook's linked to your fucking PlayStation. So I said, hello, ? Mr. Savvy6 says, hey, my real name is Amanda. I'm a 21-year-old female, and I'm pretty bored looking for someone to talk to. How old are you? And I didn't respond.
You should have responded. You should have had a conversation and been like, well, I'm going on 75, but my heart and my penis is like 50.
I was thinking about messaging her back and saying, like, I'm 12 years old. Please don't tell my mom that
I love
I'm
doing
on
that shit.
PlayStation.
I'm 12. Please don't tell my mom, but can you send me pictures, please?
And usually they reply with, well, this was a fun conversation. Hey, if you want to keep it going, click this link.
How do you know, Justin?
Because I'm telling you, I keep these conversations going. They never respond.
I did keep a text conversation going. This lady had texted me asking for like a doctor from some university. She's like, hey, this is blah, 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 blah. I was one of your students. I graduated from your graduate program. I'm looking for da 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 da. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, it's good to hear from you again. It's like, I said, sure, I'll get that reference right to you. What's a good email? And I got to the email thing. I was like, you know what? Never mind. Wrong number. Like,
No.
I couldn't do it. Because she was looking for a reference for a fucking job. I couldn't fucking troll her.
This reminds me of over the summer, I was at work, and we basically have shifts that are like on call. So you are who we would call in if somebody just didn't show up for their shift or whatever. So we'll text people who are off just to see like if somebody actually wants to work before calling in the office. Usually no.
Yeah.
So my boss starts texting people, just typing in names on her phone, text somebody. She texts this employee named Noah. New employee, he had just started. Hey, can you work this afternoon? Sure. Shift time rolls around. He doesn't show up. So then he's like 10 minutes late and we're like, hey, like, where are you at? You coming? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he texts back and he's like, yeah, I don't feel like it anymore. And then my boss is like lividly texting him like, that is not how jobs work. You can't just do this, blah, 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 blah. And then like before she sends it, he texts her back and is like, LOL, JK, this is totally the wrong person, bro, blah, blah, blah. So she was pissed. We were undercovered that day.
I was hoping it was going to go with, I texted Noah. He said, sure. He actually did go into his job. Mm-hmm. Some random kid went to his job like, hey, I'm here to work. And they're like, why are you here? You're not scheduled today. But you just texted me and asked me to come in. Yeah. And he's walking out the door and you guys are like, hey, are you coming in? And he'd be like, you just sent me home. Like this giant freaking miscommunication.
It did get a little confusing because I was like, oh, here, let me text him. And I texted the correct number and I was like, hey, you on your way? And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not scared. Like, I'm not scheduled for today. It became a whole thing.
Inception.
Well, it's
Did
also
you spin
like
your top to make sure it still stayed up.
Yeah, it's still spinning.
Oh,
it's also like, to be honest though, like the other way that a job works is that you don't randomly ask people to come in because you don't know how to schedule people.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
that's something that like I learned as a manager at Draft House. When people say no, or when someone's like, "Oh, I'm going to come in," and they change their mind, it's kind of like. It's kind of our fault for not scheduling enough
Well,
people.
I was going to say, a good manager just assumes that people are going to say no, and you get scheduled anyway.
Yeah.
I mean that's good. That's good management skills because working at GameStop, I learned, hey, can you come in? No. What time? Oh, thank God. 5 to 7. Yeah, no, I can't make it. Fuck.
Well, no, that's how it usually goes, and which is why we have scheduled people on call. That's like, hey, like if we need you to come in, like you're scheduled for this, you are coming in, but. We reach out to people who are just off who might want more hours.
Which we'll all say no.
Which this Noah person was one of those people who was like, oh, he picked it up. We don't need the on-call person.
But did the real Noah say no?
Real Noah was out of town or something.
So, which is a no.
Like if he had said yes and then was like, actually, I can't come in anymore. I feel like you can't really get mad at him because you should have scheduled him.
But he picked up a shift. At that point, it is his shift. He is scheduled for that now. Once you say yes.
I don't think so. I mean, like, I get that that's your policy, but it's like schedule enough people.
It was my policy. I'm not there anymore. They can schedule whoever they want.
That's my thing. Just schedule more people. Schedule enough people. If you're overcovered, then start sending people home.
It's way easier to cut people than it is to get people to come in.
I've tried explaining that to them. They don't listen.
Oh, no. I mean, let's be real. With the place that I work, it's an interesting issue because, well, it's also labor's weird, man. When you start looking at like how companies earn money and how to like balance that with the amount of people you have on your shift, it's not fun. because you're literally turning people into numbers.
What time is it?
7 something. What? How long have we been going, Ev?
Like 2 hours.
What time is it?
7:47.
Damn it.
Why?
Because I think trivia starts at Alamo Draft House at 7:30.
Oh,
I like trivia.
Yeah.
I've been. Yeah, I guess I could start going on Tuesdays. What do
I
I
like
do on
trivia.
Tuesdays? I usually play Destiny on Tuesday. Well, I do this and then
You
play
do
Destiny.
this.
Yeah, we do this and then we play Destiny, but we're always out of here too late for trivia.
Yeah, we talked too
Because
much.
I would very much like to have an old fashioned from Draft House. I feel like they're pretentious enough to make a good one.
Maybe. I don't know that I've only had an old fashioned from Draft House,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know if I've ever had like a really good one.
Okay. I'll
But
try it. One of these days we'll get out of here at 7 and be like, hey, let's all go to trivia.
Let's just go
We
have a
can all
drink
go to
on Thursday.
Trivia, and we can come up with a badass team name that will make people laugh.
Twin Stick Trivia Goers.
Or the Flaccid Migas.
Yes, there we go. We got it. No one will get it, but we'll laugh every time it comes
That's
up.
true.
It's all right.
Or
Sounds like our campaign.
We should
the Metal Mexicans.
at like 5:30 on Thursday. We shall all just meet up and have a drink at Draft House, and then Everett can have a shake.
I'll join you in a shake.
Ooh, so ice cream sounds good right now. It's kind of hot in here, but as soon as I walk outside,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
feel
not
like
going to
ice cream.
sound good when you walk out. All right, guys. We do have a topic for next week, but we're trying to cut down the amount of time because we've heard from some of you guys that 3-hour podcasts are long. Who would have thought? So we're trying to like.
I don't think it's long.
down.
I watch 4-hour episodes of Critical Role, so
You watch it.
well, I have it on in the background while I work.
I feel like Critical Role is harder to watch than it is to listen to.
No, I think it's better to watch because there's like today, the latest episode, there's a couple of times where they do like hand motions and they laugh because Marisha does this by accident.
Well-
and they're all tee hee hee hee. And like, if you're listening to it, you're not going to know what the hell happened.
See, but now people who are listening, they don't even know what you just did.
For me, it's
Exactly. You have no idea what I just did.
see.
We could be naked right now.
I'm okay with a 2, 3, 4 hour anything as long as I can multitask it. And if I'm watching something, I can't multitask it.
Damn it. I was going to say, I wonder if people actually think like, what do these guys look like when they're doing their podcast? But they know we do it inside Green Records, so we're probably fully clothed.
You know, one of my
They
biggest
don't know.
fears in life is that we'll get big at some point and like we'll never end up doing a video thing. We'll just get big off the podcast and then we'll be at some convention doing a signing and some kid will walk up to the booth and see me and be like, "Ugh, that's not what I thought you looked like." Because that happened to me. Like I spent like I remember the first time I actually saw I actually don't know if I want to name names because if these people ever found out.
Just say what they've done. Nope, that'll give it away. Say,
Are they an actor?
use their initials.
I'm gonna do an opposite one, right?
Okay.
So back in the old Drunk Tank days for Rooster Teeth, Griffin and Jeff used to be on the podcast all the time. Griffin is way prettier than I thought she would be. Like I thought she'd be pretty because she's like married to Jeff or whatever, but like she is way prettier than I thought she would be. So when the first time I saw her in person, I was like, "Holy shit! Like you are like a goddess." But I'm afraid of the opposite thing. Have you ever done that? Where
You're
like
gay.
that doesn't mean someone can't be pretty.
Yeah, but goddess?
Like Lady Gaga's a goddess.
Lady Gaga's really not that.
I
I mean, from a social standpoint, she's pretty fucking awesome, but she's,
Who else is a
she's
goddess?
not like,
Jessica Lange is a goddess.
I don't know who that is.
She is an American Horror Story, and she's in like the first 3 or 4 seasons. She's great. She's like an older lady. She's very regal. Who else is a goddess? Beyonce's a goddess.
No.
Wait. Oh, I know who Jessica Lange is.
Yeah, she plays like the.
What else has Jessica Lange been in?
Cat in a Hot Tin Roof.
What other like actual like good movies has Jessica Lange been in?
I'm sorry.
Has she been in Star Wars?
No.
Was she in Lord of the Rings?
No.
Fuck.
She's not English.
I don't think you've ever seen her in anything.
I might have. You don't know.
Actually,
I watch
she
movies.
is a great American actress.
You're a great American actress.
Who else is a goddess? Ooh,
Shiva?
I'm hungry.
Sheila?
Shiva.
Shiva.
Shiva is a goddess.
That's fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Depends on your
Oh, hey.
religion.
While we're talking about
Yeah.
watching things,
No, I am not going to watch Dragon Prince. I can't get past the frame rate.
I don't care about you.
Can't do it. Cannot get past the frame rate.
Everyone
I
should watch.
tried-
Everyone
told
should
you.
watch the Dragon
I
Prince.
tried
told you
watching.
people have problems
We
with
tried
it.
watching the first episode, and I cannot get past the.
I-
It's the exact. Yo, yeah, Voltron, absolutely. But no,
So-
it's the same reason. Like I can't watch the Rooster Teeth shows. I can't because the animation and frame rate is just so fucking weird. Can't do it.
I don't know. The frame rate thing bothered me. In the first episode, there's like an intro where they're telling you like the history of the world. It bothered me, and then once that section ended, like I immediately got over it. I don't know what changed or what it did. And I was watching it on TV. It wasn't like I was watching it on my phone. I was watching it on the TV at my grandparents' house. I got over it instantly. But I do think that like I would say watch the whole first episode, and if you don't like it, give up on it. It's 20 minutes. Like what
Sure,
the fuck
yeah,
else
it's
are you
not
doing?
long.
Watch the first episode, but I really by the time it finished, like I was completely over it. And I also think that like it's made by the same people that do Avatar.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
What?
2 writers.
Written?
Yeah, it's yeah.
That's what I mean. When I guess that's what I mean.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, technically,
Yeah,
it's a
but
Netflix show, and now Netflix makes Avatar. So
it's by the same writers that
Yeah.
that did
So he's not wrong.
Avatar. But I also think to
both
me,
avatars.
this world is a whole lot more interesting. I really like the medieval kind of high fantasy, as opposed to the like Eastern fantasy.
I do too.
I didn't know the writers of Avatar did that.
Yeah,
but whenever
like,
I initially saw the trailer, it had that vibe. to
I
it.
still am super fucking excited to either read this story in some way, shape, or form because those 2 guys, what are their names? I can't remember their names. Huh? Something like that. Anyway, the 2 writers Avatar and Korra are probably, honestly, are some of the best like cartoon written stories ever created. Avatar is a great story. Avatar: The Last Airbender, from start to finish, is just a phenomenal story. Korra is even better, and I was super excited for Dragon Prince because of that. But man, we tried the first episode, and I can't.
It's
I just
so
can't do
fucking
it.
good.
I can't get past that frame rate, man. I just can't do it.
It's so good.
Is that what you were gonna say when you brought up TV?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure we.
So the
didn't
new
derail
season
you.
of American Horror Story is fantastic.
Actually,
I just watched Cult
there's
the
a
other day.
new Netflix horror show that came on that I saw on Twitter that said somebody said this is one of the best horror things they've
I'm
ever
down for
seen.
that. It's a TV show. Or
Yeah, it's a
movie?
Netflix TV show.
Interesting.
I just started watching Westworld. I think you really.
my
I think
God,
you would
Westworld.
really
I
enjoy.
would
Westworld.
love Westworld. Unfortunately, I tried to watch Westworld, but my Whitney can't do things with like rape and stuff in it, and so we had to stop watching it because of that.
Just watch it.
So watch it by yourself.
Yeah,
I
watch it when
understand,
she's not
but
there.
I can't because now our HBO thing is over with.
Just use ours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Westworld is.
I start because we talked about it a while back, and you kind of had like a misconception on it.
I just didn't know what it was about.
Well, you thought it was more of a western.
Yeah,
not-
yeah.
Like watching it, I think you'll really.
Oh,
like
I'm sure I would.
Because that's what
dude.
you said too, that he would really like it. I definitely
I
agree.
know Chris pretty well. Like when I saw Dragon Prince, like I honestly didn't. I thought you wouldn't. I thought you wouldn't like it because it can be a little bit too childish.
Sure.
I think it kind of balances the dark.
Avatar
and
could
childishness.
though. Avatar did too. Though.
I think it's a little bit more than Avatar.
Oh, really?
It seems like it's very much made for like kind of a younger audience, but I thought that would be your biggest thing about not liking it. I wouldn't have guessed a frame rate thing, but I already guessed that you wouldn't be into it.
yeah.
Also, last and final thing, I saw A Star Is Born, and it is very good, and I would recommend that to pretty much anyone. Even like it kind of has. It's kind of like the Notebook, where it's like this is kind of a chick flick, but it's good enough that it's not really a chick flick, and you can get away with like pretending that it's not one.
The Notebook made me hard cry for like 30 minutes after the movie was over.
I really want to talk about A Star Is Born because it.
I want to see it though.
Could you imagine how good the Notebook would have been though if they had a lightsaber fight in it? Just imagine it.
I think actually the way that one of the big I don't this isn't gonna interest you in seeing it,
Nope.
but it's about music stars. But the way that they play with the audio sections, like watching that movie in a theater was really fucking cool because the audio design when the characters are in concert, it was impressive. Like when the movie opens up with a guy playing the main character playing a song, and it seriously feels like you're like standing in a concert hall with like real fucking bands playing, and I just thought it was cool. I don't think I've ever really seen that in a movie where they were very faithful to the concert experience or just music playing.
It does
I think I'll
not-
see it
there's
tonight.
No way it sounds like that.
I think you and Brie will really like it.
Yeah.
So
There's no way it sounds like a real band in a concert hall in a movie theater.
I mean, give it a shot.
Could you feel the bass? Could you feel the kick drum? Then it does not.
I don't know. I don't think I could feel a bass or kick drum at a real concert.
And you've been to a Panic at the Disco concert?
I'm just saying, like,
I don't think you've been in a very good
I don't know. You can tell me if I'm wrong next week.
I don't think
I
you've
will.
been in very good mixed concert halls.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Just saying.
You should see it.
No.
Stars Born.
Nope.
It's about Anakin Skywalker.
No, it's not.
It could be.
Actually, you know what is a movie that's really fucking good? It's on Netflix right now too. Last Jedi. Go watch it. It's amazing.
I've seen it.
It's so sad because there are so many good movies that I think you would like if you actually watch them. And it's funny because you talk about older movies that are things that I would never guess that you would watch.
That's because older
based
movies
off of your
have
closed-mindedness.
To me, it's like older movies have substance to them. Like not
But what
like
if you gave certain movies, like there are movies nowadays that have substance.
Okay.
They're just more far and few between.
okay. When I say substance, though, like I don't mean substance as like I'm not a movie critic. I don't
Like
know,
how?
I
Okay,
don't
so
know
like
what
how
good-
wet is it getting you? Is it like?
I don't know. I don't know what makes
You
a
gotta
good.
rephrase that question.
Yeah,
That is not
I
a good way
don't,
to phrase that.
How soaked?
I don't know what makes a good movie. I don't know what makes good actors. I just know what movies that I really, really enjoy and what movies that. And I've said this before. I don't ever not enjoy a movie. Like we watched Young Frankenstein last night because that.
Oh
what,
God, I hate that movie.
Yeah, Whitney was like, "This is one of my favorite movies of all time," and we watched it. And I told Whitney, I was like, "That is not Mel Brooks' best movie in any way, shape, or form." And she even said, like, she hadn't seen it in a long time. She's like, "Yeah, that wasn't as good as I remember it." It's like, yeah, that Young Frankenstein's just, it's not that good of a movie. But apparently,
Blazing Saddles on the other hand,
Blazing Saddles is just funny. That entire camp scene is just fucking hilarious.
the whole movie.
But like, I don't know what makes a good movie, but I know what I really enjoy. So like one of my favorite movies that isn't Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, or anything fantasy based is Empire Records. And it's just about a bunch of teenagers working in a record store and how shit hits the fan one day and it's Rex Manning Day and it's a day in the life of these kids at a record store. And so much shit happens that it's funny and it's good and it's actually relatable because one of them was a struggling musician and like, I don't know, it's funny. And I think like, to me, if I go watch a movie like A Star is Born or The Notebook, those movies are literally written to get asses in the seats so they cry.
I don't. I mean, maybe with the Notebook. I don't have a super strong opinion on the Notebook, but A Star is Born very much feels like because it's been this is like it's the third time it's been remade.
Okay.
I think there's 4 versions of this movie. It feels like Bradley Cooper was like, I want to make a modern interpretation of this movie and communicate the same ideas, but have it be made for a modern audience. And it doesn't feel like it's exploitative.
Sure, but I also don't like sappy movies. I don't like sitting down and feeling like I'm going to cry in a movie. I just don't like it. Don't like the feeling. I don't like watching them. I don't like doing that. I want to see a movie that's going to make me feel like super good by the time I'm done watching this movie. Not shedding a tear in any way, shape, or form in that entire process.
Well, but it's not even just A Star is Born that gets me thinking about this. It's like I said, based off of like you will sit here and talk about old movies that based off of like the fact that I can't get you to go watch fucking Baby Driver, right? Which is a movie you would really enjoy.
That's what I mean. Like I think
You would really
that
enjoy that
seems like
movie.
a movie that I would enjoy, but if it's not on Netflix, I don't go to movie theaters also.
But I feel
To
like
be
even if
fair.
it was on Netflix, you wouldn't watch it.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But you would fucking enjoy it based off of all these old movies that you talk about.
Sure, but also
Old, like, from like
sure,
the
like
80s,
90s,
70s,
yeah.
and 90s.
But also, we had this conversation the other day at a rehearsal. I'm stuck in my ways with music too. Like I just found out about Panic at the Disco and Brendan Urie. You've been talking about Brendan Urie since I've known you for 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
I just found the rabbit hole of Panic at the Disco on YouTube, and they're fucking great. The last time I did that with a musician, with a band, was probably in 1996 when Gin Blossom's second album came out. You know what I mean? I'm stuck in my ways when it comes to music too, just like I'm stuck in my ways when it comes to movies. Like you're not going to get my attention in a movie if it doesn't have something to do with my interest, because Empire Records and That Thing You Do and Back to the Future and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were all movies that influenced me in a time where I could be influenced. I'm 35 years old now, man. I ain't got no more room to be influenced.
You're stuck in your ways.
I am, man. I don't have any more room to be influenced anymore.
I don't. That's That's a funny interpretation of media. I don't think that, because I would say like, podcast, like if I were to do like my top 3 forms of media
that you intake.
that I intake,
Yeah.
television, podcasts, and video games. Those are the 3 forms of media that I'm also most passionate about. And I don't,
Television including movies or no?
no,
Okay, just TV.
just TV.
Got it.
I don't play or listen or watch anything to be influenced. Like I don't intend to be changed by these experiences. I play them to, I guess, be entertained and to get something out of them. I don't like when I finish a video game, I'm not like, oh man, like this is, I don't know. I mean, there's those experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll find a TV show that really influences me, or a game, or a podcast that I just am really passionate about. But my primary reason for going into those forms of media isn't to be influenced.
Sure, but my primary things when I first watched Empire Records wasn't to be influenced, but I was because I was young. Same thing with That Thing You Do. Same with Back to the Future. Same thing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like those are things that in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Those are things that influenced me because I was 5 years old when I first watched Star Wars. So of course I'm going to be influenced by them. I don't go into anything anymore expecting to be changed by something. I'm not playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey expecting to be influenced by it. Does that make sense?
Well,
it's just those are things that did influence me as I was growing up. And if Baby Driver and Star is Born and some other Panic at the Disco was a thing in my preteen to teen years, they would influence me heavily because that I can feel that from him, right? I can feel that from Panic at the Disco, and Brendan Urie is like, man, this guy's fucking awesome. And if I was 13 years old listening to this dude, I'd be so into Panic at the Disco, it'd be stupid. But I'm 35 now. I look at Brendan Urie and I think, man, that dude's a fucking amazing vocalist. I would love to maybe work with him one day.
Well,
and then it ends there.
Let's make a business
Yeah,
deal.
like that. That's kind of where it
No,
stops.
I get that. I was just playing off of you. You had said those are all movies that influenced me, and I'm 35 years old, and I'm not going to be influenced. So that's kind of where I jumped off of that on.
Oh, sure. Okay, and so yeah, I guess like to kind of to elaborate on your point, it's like I don't. I am 35 years old, and I do make my own schedule. However, I would rather invest time in other things than a movie like A Star is Born or a movie like Baby Driver. Sure, it's only 2 hours of my life that I can go do it, but I would rather take that 2 hours and do something that I super enjoy, like you, right? Podcast, TV, video games. That's your free time. That is what you do. For me, my free time is Whitney, video games, D&D. So
I guess it's true. I am single.
yeah, and so
also I don't. D&D is a once a week thing. I don't
sure
think that counts.
See, I'm getting ready for a possible 2+ year campaign still, so that's still something that I do weekly. I sit down and I decide where I'd like to see this go at some point in time. And so those are my 3 things that I'm passionate about. And unfortunately, movies don't do that anymore because I'm not a teenager. I don't just work a summer job and then go to school and then have 80 hours a week to just watch movies and play video games.
I grew up in I think I'm very open to just a broad array of movies, especially because I grew up.
But you're an actor too, dude. I think you.
Well, that's true.
I think you appreciate it, and this is a positive thing saying. Not a negative against any of us. I think you appreciate movies a lot more than we do, based on the idea that you understand what goes into the process of acting, not necessarily making, right? But acting. You understand that better than we do, I think.
I appreciate their work.
I don't want to speak for Trey or Ev, but I know I don't get it. I don't know what makes Chris Evans the best Captain America in the world. I just think he's fucking awesome as Captain America. I don't understand why he is. You probably do. You probably get why Robert Downey Jr. is fucking awesome as Iron Man, or why Ryan Gosling's amazing in Baby Driver, or why Rocket Raccoon's awesome in Star is Born. I couldn't remember his name, but he's Rocket, right?
Bradley Cooper. Yeah.
He's
Bradley
Rocket,
Cooper
right?
is.
He does Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
See,
And
I
Ryan
don't
Gosling is not in
understand.
Baby
Yeah, I don't
Driver.
understand what makes Ryan Gosling isn't in Baby Driver.
No, you're thinking of Driver.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, there you go. Hey, see, I was close. Anyway, yeah, I don't understand it, and you do.
I also grew up in a time where like the movies I was growing up with was like the parody era. So it was like scary movie and superhero epic movie and stuff. So now I'm just like, sure.
That sucks.
Whatever.
I'm
You
also,
can't. You
like-
grew up in a shitty movie era.
I'm just at a point too in my life where I know myself really well. Like I know when I watch
Sure.
a trailer, or I know when I listen to the first 5 minutes of a podcast.
If you're gonna like it or not.
I know if I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like, yeah, I like it, but I'm never gonna finish that
Sure.
game. So why would I fucking waste the $60 on it?
And unfortunately, like I live with this. It's not a crutch, but I know this. Like I can look at something and be like, I'm not going to watch it. But Trey could be like, dude, I've watched this and you really will. But my mindset has already been said, I'm not going to like this. So I'm not going to like it. Like Trey understands it. It frustrates him to all in. Like, I'm just not going to like it. No, dude, you will. Nope, not going to do it.
Except
so it's-
in my defense, though, there have been times where you've fought me on something and then you've watched
I gave
it,
in. Sure, of course.
and every time that you've given in, I've been right.
Sure, yeah. And that's
You have never
when
given
you're-
in, and I've been wrong.
Sure, and that's
Although
the
if
thing
you
is
give in
like,
to Dragon Prince, I feel like
sure, but that's the thing is like I think you know when to pick your battles. Like when you're adamant that I'm gonna like something, that's when you push it, and that's when I give in and do it. And you're right. This was awesome. But usually, if I see something, I'm not gonna give it the time of day if I'm not engrossed in the first 30 minutes or whatever it's called.
Yeah. You're like the grandpa that like the grandchildren are just like, oh, don't mind him. He's stuck in his
Yeah,
ways.
sure, yeah, exactly.
He grew up in a different
yeah,
time.
absolutely. Which, by the way, everybody should go watch Empire Records and That Thing You Do because those are great fucking movies. Tom Hanks written, produced, and directed That Thing You Do. Such a great band. Such a great movie. It's about a band in the 60s that makes it big with a one-hit wonder. It's fucking great.
Well, if you guys like what we do, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play Store, or wherever else you listen to your podcasts, including YouTube, where some of you kids listen at. You can follow the show
kids?
on... Yeah, you kids. You youngins. You guys can follow the show on Twitter at Twinstick Radio or on Facebook at facebook.com/Twinstick Radio. We are all on Twitter as well. I am at Darth Trey. Chris is at Shortchange Hero with a 3 instead of the E in Hero. And Justin is at Justin T. Lopez. Show is produced by Everett Jordan. Give him a follow on Twitter at the56th. All letters, no numbers. And I don't know, the theme song. I still want to the theme song and editing sometimes, and just a bunch of cool stuff. Connor's always there for us. You can follow him on Twitter at Connor13, one in Connor 13 spelled out.
Friend of the show, Connor.
Friend of the show, Connor.
I mean,
yeah.
he did do the theme song, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah, he
fucking
did.
awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I
Except the explosion at the end. I still never liked the explosion at the end. I don't know why. I just didn't like it.
Explosion.
Yeah, there's a
I love the doo doo
at the
doo.
end. No, it's not a doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, it goes
It's,
doo doo doo.
oh, I don't think I ever listened to the doo-doo-doo. I just hear the...
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like the Mega Man. It's not this noise, but it's supposed to be like the Mega
Oh,
Man.
I don't think I've ever
noise.
heard the doo-doo-doo. I just
Yeah,
hear the...
It's like the character dying.
Oh. I never hear the doo-doo-doo. I just hear the explosion. I'm like, God, I hate that explosion.
And you helped make the song.
I just helped write the melody. That's all. I got on a piano and typed out the melody.
Well,
on
you
the
like
piano.
fixed a note.
Sure, yeah, well, something like that.
All
Yeah,
right,
there was
guys.
a weird dissonant seventh in there, and I was like, that doesn't sound right, Connor. He's like, oh, yeah, you're right.
We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.